Great. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the last live wrap up of 2024. I'm very excited. We're going to talk about a couple new releases and some interesting movies that we missed over the year. Maybe some of them aren't as interesting as others, but we're still going to talk about them. And first up on our panel is my ride or die, my trusty psychic, a man who will never leave me hanging, who's very loyal, who will always be by my side and never abandon me, especially during a live stream because he has a horrible stomach virus. My best friend, Joey C. How are you, Joey C?
Tony, it's true. It's true. My body is trying to murder me, but I had to jump on here and get off the couch and just show my support and do my intro and my Patreon plug and then go back to the Pedialyte and the sleeping bag.
So I'm glad Joey C watched all the movies.
It's true, I did.
And then won't review them. That's just really great. Thank you, Joey. But luckily, I have my other best friend, Adam from Adam Does Movies. Hello, Adam.
Hey. How's it going?
I'm sorry we only have a few people on this panel. I try to invite 15 more because I know you love that. But unfortunately, this was all I could get, Adam.
Yeah, I like when it's a good 15 or so people to talk over each other in a circle jerk fashion, get derailed, don't actually talk about the movies. That's fun.
The February 2024 wrap up has become like a major milestone. I always reference it. I'm always like, yeah, you know, that infamous wrap up that was so bad that Adam left the show.
I'm like, I'm done. I don't need this shit.
Was it the girls typing in the echoey room? Is that what did it for you, Adam?
Classic.
Actually, it's all out of my mind at this point, Tony. You're bringing me back.
And next up, we have my other best friend, Gil. Hello, Gil.
I just want to point out the one live stream I didn't show up for, February 2024. That's when everything went wrong.
It's true. That is very true, Gil.
You were the glue. You were the Jerry of the Seinfeld group.
The nucleus.
The nucleus.
And yep, I'm here with all my best friends. Hey, Crystal, how you doing? So the 2024 wrap up. Crystal.
Hi, Tony.
Crystal, who is definitely still alive. We just shot 2 episodes together.
We did.
Yeah, we did Final Destination 2, and apparently we did a movie called Oobron Legend because I didn't check my spelling when I put the letters on the board.
You're a dumbass.
So get excited in a couple months when we review Oobron Legend. It's going to be great. Let me get some updates out of the way. Guys, the movie that ruined my birthday. I'm auctioning off the tape signed by all those banshees in that picture right now. It's up to 10 bids, $57. Not doing as well as that Ghostbusters one we did a few years back. But it could be yours now within the next few days. You got to bid on it. A lot of you are going to be asking, where's Nosferatu? And I want you guys to know we're going to do an episode in a few weeks. Me, Crystal, and Johanna. Crystal saw it super early.
I did. I was invited to an early release. It was really awesome.
I didn't get an invite, but okay.
You gonna come down to Florida?
No. But if you want to hear me talk about a Nosferatu movie, I actually talked about it on my good friend Lena's channel. We did the 70s one, which was great. And I'm sure some other people have reviewed Nosferatu. It's being universally praised. Everyone seems to love it. And, oh, God damn it, Adam, you did it again.
Celebrated movie critic.
Every single review I see is that it's great, it's a masterpiece, and sure enough, Nosferatu.
I actually might watch that because I want to see if you have some of the similar opinions that I have.
I am the voice of the common folk, Crystal. So you might agree with me a little bit. I'm a voice for the people. Okay.
Can I ask? Did you like it though?
No, I did not.
Nah.
Okay. 50-50
I actually,
then,
about an hour and 15 in, I turned to the guy next to me. I said, fuck, this is going to be another Godzilla -1 situation, isn't it? Because I hate this movie. And he was like sleeping.
Who are you?
Already. There was 4 people at this movie. My other buddy who was back on a date, he fell asleep twice during it. And we all walked out of the movies just shaking our heads. It's like, this was terrible. I'm like, okay, I'm not alone. All right, good. There might be some others out there like us.
I saw it last night.
Yeah.
It was a harrowing experience from the beginning because the system at AMC malfunctioned and they assigned a bunch of people the same seats. So like I showed up and there were people in the seats that were supposed to be ours. And then every 2 minutes people were walking in. I'm surprised there wasn't a riot. People were all fighting with each other.
Well, I'm excited to see it. I might see it tomorrow.
Yeah. No, I'm sure you'll love it, Tony. I'm sure you'll love it. It's fine. That's good. That's good if people like things. I wish I liked it. The funny part is the comments are like, oh, yeah, you go in with a sour opinion wanting to hate it. It's like, bitch, I made The Northman my favorite movie of 2022. I praised The Witch. I just watched it like 2 days before seeing this. I was super pumped to go to Nosferatu.
Yeah.
It's not my fault it didn't capture me. I'm sorry. But
No,
yeah.
as soon as I saw the thumbnail, I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be a banger for Adam." And then I saw how well the video was doing. I'm like, "Yeah, I knew it."
That's the other common misconception. Not to really, linger on this, but people are like, "Oh, of course, it's a rage click video." I don't want rage people coming over. I wanted people to search. I didn't like Nosferatu, and then they see me, and then I get the like-minded echo chamber on my channel, not the douchebag pompous pricks who are like, actually, you don't know history, and vampires had mustaches back in the day. Oh, okay. It still looks stupid. I'm sorry, but it wasn't
Hey, wait a minute. Are
scary.
you making fun of me? I told you Dracula had a mustache in the novel. I feel like you're making fun of me.
No, I'm saying some things don't translate to film, which is why Hugh Jackman's Wolverine didn't wear yellow spandex for like 20 years because they couldn't get it to work.
But Adam,
All right, I'm done.
Did you get to talk to all those like-minded people in your comments though? Right, there was tons of them, right?
There was actually a lot of people that agreed with me, so it was fine. It's like an 85-15 split on the likes and the dislikes.
Oh, nice.
It's not too bad. Not too bad.
Adam, you gotta you stick to just summarizing movies, offer no opinion, no analysis. Nobody can argue. Here are the things that happened in the movie.
Exactly.
True.
You have a good plan over there.
What do you?
All right. And on Patreon right now, Monday's episode is up where we go through all the Sony Spider-Man spin-offs that don't have Spider-Man in it.
Yep.
Crystal, imagine how happy I was that I got to re-review Morbius. It was so much fun revisiting that masterpiece. So yeah, you can watch that now. Me and Monica go through it. I have I think like 5 outfit changes in that episode, so you're definitely going to want to check that out. I dressed like a character from each of the films. It was amazing. Also up on there, me and Sarah, we did a review for The Mean One, the movie with the killer Grinch. Did any of you see this one?
Not since last week. No, I watch it periodically week to week, but I have not seen it in a while now. No one's seen this shit. Come on.
Apparently they did. And I watched it, and when I found out it was a fake trailer, I was like, yeah, I probably should have stayed that. I don't know why we need to make a full movie out of that. But yeah, sign up for the Patreon. We have a $10 tier. You get to join in the live streams. I see someone in the back room right now. Commentary tracks are available to purchase without becoming patrons. And I also put up a compilation of the RoboCop review on the main channel and the podcast feed. Now, let's get into these wonderful films. First up, we did this on the last year wrap-up. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, Part 2. Did we all see this one?
Yeah.
Wow, everyone saw it. Yeah.
You literally put priority next to it.
Oh, yeah,
I don't think we had a choice. There were 3 movies that said
because
priority.
I put Winnie the Pooh in the thumbnail last year, and that episode did really, really well. So I'm like, oh, I gotta put him in again.
It has to be the first time in history that this movie, the word priority was next to it.
Next
in
to
any context.
it. Yeah. I saw that on the list and I was like, why is it a priority?
Because our views on last year's wrap up did super well. I don't know if Winnie the Pooh. Look, if they had done another Aquaman, I would have put him on the thumbnail, but all we got was a Winnie the Pooh sequel, guys. Yeah, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2. It's the same team. They have a little bit more money. It's a meta sequel where the first movie is a movie in this universe, but some of the events from that movie technically happened. So we're continuing that story, but changing it a little bit.
That's just good writing at the end of the day.
It's great writing.
Yeah.
Tigger is the big introduction because I don't think he was public domain last year, but he is now. So he was the new big bad. We get like an origin where it turns out that
need this. We just didn't need this.
what they changed the origin, so it wasn't his toys he got rid of. It was like his twin brother, and a mad scientist was turning them into colorful animals. And I think the owl was the mad scientist. It was really hard to concentrate on this one, guys.
Yeah. Bless this team's heart. They're doing it, right? I mean, they're like serious. They're really taking this shit seriously. They didn't go like the tongue-in-cheek route or make fun of, use catchphrases from the cartoon. They are seriously treating this like a real product, and that's absolutely wild to me.
Well,
I think they have 3 more coming out this year, plus
this is their
Avengers.
This is their.
Can you say that again? Because I don't think I heard you right.
Yeah, they have Bambi, Pinocchio, and I think there's one more. And then before the end of the year, Peter Pan. They're doing like the crossover Avengers style team up.
This is the Poohniverse. I think they changed the name of their shared universe.
Twisted Childhood.
Wait, so
it's not as funny as Poohniverse. They should have kept Poohniverse.
No, because that's silly and fun, and nothing in these movies is silly and fun. They're like, you're genuinely thinking they're making good movies. It's wild.
There's no way. Wait, so it's all the same director, same people?
No. Different directors are handling the different properties, but there's the two Kevin Feige type guys that are overseeing the whole thing.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, Kenneth Branagh will be doing the Peter Pan one. I was shocked they were able to get him, just like he did Thor. No, I just made that up. That would be Kenneth Branagh
was like really excited. I was like, that would be really cool.
Kenneth Branagh, I really helped Marvel out with Thor. I think I'm going to help the Poohniverse out with my Peter Pan movie.
Listen, weird things have happened. Okay.
I will say, it was better than the last one.
That's not anything.
I would agree, but that doesn't say much.
I actually don't. I don't know. I think if you can take out the origin story, then yes, the origin story. I just was like, nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
I guess. Joey C, where did you land on Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2?
Well, first of all, before we go any further, Tony, I had one job today, and we once again forgot.
Oh, God damn it! Yes.
This is like 3rd fucking month in a row that we forgot.
I was going to say something, but I wanted to see how long it would take before somebody remembered.
God damn it, Gil. Folks, there's one name of the game today, okay, and that's super chats. If you want me or the crew to whisper sweet nothings into your ear, all you have to do is send a super chat, and it would heal me from my sickness, actually, because I'm very sick. And in order to heal old manly Joey C, send a super chat to Tony, and it would heal all of us. And with that being said, I'm leaving. So have fun, everybody.
Did you like the movie or not? Do you want
to movie was better than the first one. The effects were pretty good. I thought the effects were good. Again, I might have had a couple 2 brownies while I was watching it.
Oh my God.
So the fucking Tigger story.
Yeah, that's an owl.
That
if you're watching, that's an owl that you're looking at. Those are the effects you're seeing.
It doesn't
and
look
he's
like
just
an
as
owl.
low
It looks
res
like a
in the
vulture.
movie.
Like
it does look like a vulture, yeah.
All right. Well, Joey C, thank you for being so loyal all year long and dropping the ball literally at the very end.
At last.
At the very end.
God damn it. Sorry, I'm gonna go drink Pedialyte.
You can't just
sleep
suck it up. I thought you were a man.
I'm like 4 seconds away from throwing up, so I'm gonna go do that over there.
Okay.
Have fun. Mouth.
Get better, Joey.
Bye, Joey.
Movie was so bad it killed Joey C. Can you believe it? Adam, what are your thoughts on Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2? Was there anything you liked in it?
Well, I think it's unfair right out of the gates to even reference the Avengers or the MCU with this. We should get closer to maybe the Sony Spider-Man cinematic universe that doesn't have Spider-Man in it, because that's what they're building over here on this horror side of things. Yes, as we've stated, it is better than the first. There are better kills for sure. They clearly have a much larger budget. I think this one, wasn't it like $1 million they had this time around? Whereas the first one was like an expired Starbucks gift card and a few bucks in the wallet. Some of the cinematography, listen, everything's a step up, but we're still in the shitter with this franchise. They're bad movies. The stories are nonsensical. It's not fun enough. It's way too serious. Some of the designs of the costumes did get better, but these are schlocky C-grade horror flicks. And I don't mind a schlocky C-grade horror flick. In fact, I love the Terrifier movies which keep getting way better as they go.
They do.
And I noticed that's not on the list today, which is a shame that we're in the muck with Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2. Also, Tony, how do you not call it Winnie the Pooh like Tigger Rises, or have at least some creativity with the title?
Yeah, it's
just
weird they
Blood
did.
and Honey 2.
Yeah, I don't know why they kept the same subtitle. It should have been a different subtitle.
Right.
Tigger was also Freddy Krueger, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Basically.
Yeah. I didn't have a slide of it here, but Tigger's CGI tail was barely attached to his butt. It kept floating over his butt. But at one point they show Tigger's shadow, and they show the tail, the shadow of his tail. But the color of the tail is a different color than the rest of the shadow. And I'm like, how do you fuck that up? I'm like, how the fuck do you fuck that up? Gil, what did you think of this? Will you be including this when you review every single Winnie the Pooh thing and do it in chronological order?
It's tempting. I mean, once what's it called? Pooniverse Universe Monsters Assemble. Yeah, Pooniverse Monsters Assemble 2025. When that happens, we'll see. I might have to tie them all together. But yeah, I mean, agreed with everything Adam said. It's a terrible movie. If you were to really try to dissect why it's so terrible, I mean, there's no tension, no suspense. When the killers show up, they just slaughter everybody. There's no... I feel like Scream does it best because you can like knock that guy over. He'll trip over a couch. Like there's some fight and some tension of whether or not who's going to escape from this room alive. And then the whole subplot of the mystery of where did these creatures come from, as soon as Christopher Robin sits down and Googles it, the first hit is like children kidnapped, animal human hybrid testing. I was like, oh, so it's going to turn out Winnie the Pooh is his kidnapped brother, but they still draw out the investigation. And also, one of my pet peeves with movies is when you're trying to solve a mystery and you do it through hypnosis. So the answer is in Christopher Robin's mind. He's just waiting for the movie to go on long enough so that the image will unblur, so that guy can explain everything that we already know because we saw the headline about the human-animal hybrids. And the main thing I just don't get about these movies is that we all know what they are, but they don't have any fun with them. You have Winnie the Pooh, Tigger, all these other animal characters, but they don't actually lean into that cartoon aspect. Like, there's no honey in the movie. Like, he should be like pouring hot honey on people to like burn them alive.
The very end, okay? The very, very, very last scene, a couple seconds after the credits, there's honey, okay?
Okay, you're right. Let me reassess this whole movie.
Gil, to your point really quickly, a movie that does that very well and has fun with it, I enjoyed it, is Cocaine Bear. It takes a really stupid idea of a bear,
great.
Doing drugs and just going nuts on everyone. That's what Winnie the Pooh should have been something more like, but I digress.
Yeah.
Crystal, you seem to love it the most. No, what did you think compared to the first one? Did it do anything better for you?
Don't think I like that there was more gore. It was just a bad horror film. I think if you take out the experiments and the brother, like, you just complicated and made it messier. If you should have just stuck with it, having fun, Winnie the Pooh going ape shit with all these. I mean, I don't know why they are so obsessed with just ripping heads off. Almost every kill was a ripping the head off. I did get tired of that effect. It was nonstop. I think they could have had a little bit more fun with the kills. The rave scene was great, but it kind of went a little too long because it was just the same kill over and over.
Which is funny because it's probably not a long movie. It just felt really, really long. Crystal, did you recognize Christopher Robin's dad?
No.
It's Paul Atreides from the made-for-TV Dune miniseries.
Oh,
I
shit.
never see that guy in movies anymore. So when I saw him, like, oh shit, I guess he did do something after the 90s.
Good for him, out of all the movies.
Adam, you said they don't do any of their catchphrases, but Winnie the Pooh, when he dies, he says, "Oh bother," before he gets an axe in his head.
That's true.
Don't you like that they waited? They like saved it for the very end. That way it didn't get cheap throughout.
Everybody was on the edge of their seats waiting for that iconic line to get said.
It was like when Captain America said "Avengers Assemble" in Endgame. I had the same reaction. everyone around me was cheering. I watched this alone, so
Yeah.
that means I was just cheering.
All your imaginary friends were with you, like
Yes,
Piglet
yes.
and Tigger, and yeah.
Yes, we're like, he said, "Oh bother," yeah.
There was
And
also
Piglet was dead in this one. No Piglet in this.
that's
He
right.
died in the first movie.
Oh wait, I thought there was a pig. Who was the warthog looking thing?
I don't think was he in it for like 2
No,
I
seconds?
thought he
Piglet-
was in the beginning. Wasn't he in the very,
got
very
his head
beginning? That
blown
was
off.
it.
Yeah, he got his head blown off.
Okay, so
Yeah.
he was in
just
it for like
looks
2
it-
seconds.
Yeah, they redesigned all of them, so
Yeah.
I think that's why I was
Because the
confused.
first movie was actually within this movie, so it makes sense. It's all recasted,
Yes,
redesigned.
That's how they get around.
It's perfect. Yeah.
But yeah, I
You
guess
what did you guys think of the very ending though?
where they're gonna
like,
be
why-
regenerated and come back.
Yeah. What I
I was so
What?
stupid because they need
What?
him for the big poo crossover. You
Yeah,
can't
if they were
kill him.
imaginary friends, it would have made sense because you know that he's
Ding.
not able to separate his imagination, so
Yeah.
they'll keep
I don't-
resurrecting. But no, this makes no sense. Still, it's stupid.
You
so
know,
you can't kill them.
You
No.
know, it's like when Zack Snyder killed Superman, so you'd be so excited to see him come back. When we watch that Pooh crossover, we're gonna be like, "When's Pooh coming back to save the? Well, not save the day. I guess kill everyone."
Yeah.
It's gonna
As
be
Superman
so
does,
worth
of course.
it. It's
Yes.
gonna be so worth it. And then Warner Brothers will reboot it, and me and Adam will be on the front lines of Restore the Poohniverse. Yeah, no, this movie sucked, but I guess we'll keep watching them. People seem interested to see where this goes.
Why does he vomit acid all of a sudden too?
I don't
Like,
know. Why
just-
does he not
like all of
look
a
like
sudden
an
they have
owl?
superpowers?
Why
too?
wouldn't you give him big eyes if he's an owl? Like, I don't
He's
get
got no
it.
ears.
Because they had like 3 months to make this whole movie. I mean, they have no time between these shitty things.
Still, though, I mean, it's just it's straight up a vulture. It's just not an owl at all.
They could have got those like cheap boggle eyes or whatever that you shake
Yeah.
and the iris moves around. Just put those on.
That would be great.
They just need to have more fun with the movies. Like
Yes.
the owl should be like, you know, owls go hoo hoo
Yeah.
or hoot, right? He should be like making puns out of that, like hoot
Oh.
is in my house now. You know,
Gil, I think you just got hired to write the next 5 movies based
yeah.
off that.
This guy's a genius. Wait till they hear Adam's title schemes. Like, we need him. We couldn't
Tigger
think of anything.
Rises. They've never named a movie with rises in the title before.
All right, next up, Monkey Man from actor turned director Dev Patel, not Dave Patel. That's a different guy. Dev
Davis
Patel.
Patelis. Yeah.
And producer Jordan Peele. This tells the story of an underground fighter who wants revenge. He wears a Monkey Man mask based off a legend from where he's from. He enters into a crime empire to kind of work his way up and take out like the head guys. He gets beat up a little bit. Some nice, lovely ladies help him out and train him. And then he kicks a bunch of ass and kills a bunch of people. I really liked this movie, but it was a little too long, and I think it overstayed its welcome. But as a first-time director, Dev Patel like killed it. The action scenes are incredible. I love the music, the fighting, the lighting, and everything. Everything was on point. It just went on a little too long. Adam, how do you feel about that?
I'm exactly in the same boat as you, Tony. I really like this movie. It did feel, and I say it sadly all the time, but movies are getting longer now, and they shouldn't be, most of them. Don't overstay your welcome. Monkey Man has great cinematography, awesome action. Love Dev as the lead, and behind the camera, too. He's fantastic. I have no notes other than just, you know, John Wick 1 is so good to me because it moves quickly. You know, you get the simple plot and you execute it perfectly. John Wick 4, I don't need to watch him fall down the stairs for 5 fucking minutes straight. Like, cut some of that stuff.
Adam, I needed that scene. I needed that particular scene. Other
Okay.
scenes, I do agree, went on too long. Now, the stair scene, I need.
Okay, all right. But yeah, Monkey Man, it's very solid. I enjoyed it. But these movies came out 1,000 years ago, so I can't really get into detail about why. I saw like 150 movies in between this and where we're at today.
I love when I went to watch it. There's some other movie that came out this year called Monkey Boy. I think it's like a horror movie. Like I recommended right next to it, and I'm like, oh, which one should I watch?
Well, and there's another movie, like a biopic about a singer that he
Oh,
is
yeah,
a monkey.
Oh yeah.
Robbie Williams made a movie about his life, and for some reason he's like, but what if I was a CGI chimpanzee? And I'm like,
Yeah.
that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
There's another like music biopic where it's all told through Lego. Right, so that's a thing now.
Oh, Pharrell.
Pharrell Williams, yeah.
Yeah, Pharrell Williams. It came out a few months ago. It was a biopic, but it was all Legos.
And Johnny, I
wanna
just
do
want to
something
say,
awesome.
I want to give you a shout out for how progressive you are on this channel. I noticed that 3 of the movies you have chosen today all have trans representation. So I want to thank you for being
Adam, I did not plan
very
that.
progressive, and I appreciate it. I think the
I
audience does
had
too.
no idea that any of them would have that, to be honest. Imagine my shock every single time.
That's hilarious.
When the monkey man was talking, I was a little confused. I'm like, oh, that's a real butch lady. And then more came in. I'm like, oh, I got it now.
No, that's like the main subplot of the film, which is it was done very well. There's
it
good
comes
messages
in like
the movie.
really late.
Yeah. There's good messages in the movie, and it was handled far better than another movie we're going to be talking about later.
Yeah.
Gil, how did you feel about Monkey Man?
I agree with pretty much all the above. I think the action was awesome, very John Wick inspired, and the movie even name checks John Wick. He's like, "This is the gun from John Wick. Do you want it?" But the John Wick action is great, and it's not easy to do. So if somebody else is able to do something similar, I'm definitely not going to say no to it. I do think it goes on a little bit long. I specifically think that 20 to 30 minute segment where he wakes up kind of in their commune sort of thing felt a little bit, that whole section felt a little odd to me because I wasn't clear on the transformation he was going through. It kind of felt like the movie was telling us he needs to discover something about himself. He needs to tear himself down and build himself back up and find a greater cause. But it kind of felt to me like he was seeking revenge. And what he learned is you were right to seek revenge, but you're even more right than you realized because the person you want to kill is also the arm of the corrupt government who is persecuting us and others. It reminded me a little bit of Gladiator, a movie I love, but one thing I appreciated more seeing it as an adult than when I was a kid is that it does feel like the movie wants to have its cake and eat it too, where it wants to be a little subversive of violence because you have the crowd that just wants, it's bloodthirsty. They want to see people kill, kill, kill. But the main character just wants revenge. But it just so happens that him getting revenge is also the perfect thing that could happen for Rome to have its revolution, convert from empire to a democratic republic. This felt a little similar to that. And I think for an action movie where that's the main appeal, I think adding all that in and extending the movie to 2 hours, I don't think really worked. But I agree, Dev Patel, awesome in the role, awesome behind the camera.
Now,
So
Gil,
overall
Gil,
good.
are you implying that in 20 years they'll make a sequel to this that has sharks?
Gladiator
Crystal,
2.
you've known Tony
Gladi-
longer than me. Can you help me understand?
Gladiator 2.
Oh, Gladiator 2. Not just sharks, but also monsters.
Yeah, but I need
Just like monkey monsters.
Zombie apes. It'll be Zombie Monkey Man. I can't
This
wait.
was
I'm
the
actually
year.
not
This was
against
the year
that.
of monkey. Yeah, the year of monkey is upon us with all these films.
Oh, switch that.
Crystal.
I like how Gil said that so eloquently, and I'm like, movie good. That's how I feel like what I'm about to say. Everyone was saying this is the Indian John Wick. I thought there was more to it. I love John Wick, but I feel like there was a bigger message here, a little bit of a bigger plot instead of just action. I watched it on a plane last night, so it didn't feel too long to me. I was actually happy for how long it was because it made the flight go a lot quicker.
That's what I should do, guys. Let's all book a flight and watch it again. Let's
Come to Florida. It's warm
Monkey
down
Man.
here.
Best viewed on a tiny screen in an airplane.
Yes. The one thing though that kind of got me is like, how did he learn to fight so well in such limited time? Like his skills were just like all of a sudden now he can beat every single guard and everyone that attacked him. How many people? I was like, damn, he got really good really, really fast. And all you see him really is like holding up a couple buckets and just beating on a bag.
Did
Like,
you
I
not
don't
see the
see any
montage?
other-
Crystal, there was a training montage.
Yeah, it's a training
Automatically-
montage.
It's like
There
the
was-
level skip.
He's punching to the beat. That was the
Yeah,
secret.
that's
Yeah.
the equivalent to
Gotcha.
Mario. You take the high brick passage and go to the final warp zone. That's the equivalent.
But
I will
besides that,
say-
I thought it was fantastic.
Which, by the way, I remember seeing like pictures of this movie from earlier this year, and then I didn't watch a trailer, and then I put the movie on, and I'm gonna be 100% honest with you guys. I thought he was gonna be a literal monkey man, and I was real upset when I found out
That's
it
a
was a
shame.
mask.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I thought it was gonna be like a monkey guy. So what I need to say is I will be watching that Robbie Williams movie now because I need to see a monkey man because I was let down by this.
You
Well, and
actually wanted
you
the
got a new
CGI
plan-
monkey.
Yeah, you
Huh?
got Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes too, Tony.
Well, those are just apes. I need those are just
Well,
monkeys. I
But
need
they're
monkey men.
talking and moving on their, their
I
two
will say
legs.
best. I love like these crazy action movies, but when they add a little bit of realism, the best moment in the film is when he tries to jump out the window, but the window is way too strong.
That
and it
was
just bounces off
fantastic.
of it.
Yes.
I'm like, because that is what would happen. A lot of windows and high rises don't shatter. Like you would probably just bounce off or knock it out of its frame. But that was a really good moment of levity in an otherwise dark film. But yeah, I support Monkey Man. You should definitely watch it. Just you can take a break in the middle. Next up, I saw the TV glow. I think only me and Gil watched this all the way through, right?
I
Crystal,
did
you
watch
said
it all the
you
way
sta-
through.
I literally texted Tony probably it was probably an hour and a half ago. I got an hour and 10 minutes and I was like, I don't know what to do. And you told me.
I was like,
no.
yeah, feel free to skip this one. So I saw
Yeah.
the TV glow. I will say, just based on like the images and stuff that I saw people sharing, I didn't know the plot at all. But months back when people were sharing this, I'm like, I feel like this would be a douchey, pretentious, trippy movie that I would like. So yeah, I put it on yesterday. It tells a story about a young boy who's only a young boy for 5 minutes, and then the rest of the flashbacks are Justice Smith, because I guess they just gave up on this actor. He meets a girl who's real into a show called his dad is his dad is Fred Durst, by the way. That's not the last time Fred Durst will be mentioned on this episode.
2 movies this year. Wow.
Both biopics about like the early 2000s. That's the weird thing. Yeah, so his mom is dying.
I mean, why Y2K is not a biopic?
Well, I mean period piece. That's what I meant.
Okay.
Yeah, and Tony's very self-conscious. He doesn't know what that word means. We've talked about this.
I'm like, Jesus, did this really happen? And I slept through it.
No, okay. So yeah, his mom is sick and dying. His dad's Fred Durst. He meets a girl who loves the show. They watch it together. It's called The Pinko Peg. It's basically like Goosebumps and Are You Afraid of the Dark? They're super into it. They bond over it. They have like almost like an unhealthy obsession with it. It gets canceled. She disappears. He goes about life being all depressed and thinking about the show, and then she comes back and they talk about the show, and she says that she's actually been inside the show and she wants to take him to the show. And then I literally don't know what happened for the last 40 minutes.
Damn it, because that's what I want to know.
I
I
was
literally
waiting-
was going to ask you on this. What the fuck happens after
I literally
hour and 10 minutes?
don't know. Gil, do you perhaps know
Yeah,
what
I think
happened?
I could
Please.
explain it.
Please.
Okay.
Well, basically, this movie is meant to be an allegory for the trans experience, and there's
Maybe
the egg.
that's why I didn't get it. But keep
Wait,
going.
what?
Well, so there's the egg crack moment where you sort of realize that reality is not aligning with your experience. And so you'll notice there's like moments where it cuts to him sort of wearing a dress. And I think the point is that and then he says, when I think about that stuff, like girls and boys, I feel like my insides have been torn out. He tries not to think about it. And I think the point at which he starts to dissociate and the movie sort of stops making sense is that he's decided to sort of never address that. He gets a family, he sort of buries that part of himself. So that's why things always feel kind of surreal, while toward the end of the movie, he's sort of panicking because he never addressed that part of himself. While she kind of has moved on or found some way to he didn't go with her. Something like that. I haven't fully thought it through, but looking at some of the interviews,
No, that
I think it's a
explains
general
why
idea.
Fred Durst is in it. Because Fred Durst because Fred Durst at one point identified as a chainsaw. That's my bad joke for the night. Limp Bizkit fans will get it.
By the way, I had no idea.
What? Sorry.
By the way, Adam, I know I showed like this picture, but in the movie they almost never do close-ups on him. And at the end, I went, "Who the fuck was Fred Durst in this?" I had to Google it. I'm like, "Oh, it was the dad." I'm like,
Mr.
fuck.
Freeze.
Yeah, apparently. I get what you're saying, Gil. That's another thing where I'm like, all right, maybe this movie is a little too niche, and that's why I can't appreciate it. Maybe, I don't know. I did like some of the visuals. I did like some of the creepy stuff. It's just the narrative was just very confusing, and I never really cared about the characters too much because I didn't know too much about them other than they looked like they were about to cry every 5 seconds. I will say there was one very, very relatable thing in the film. So when he's watching the show when he's young, by the way, that's the bad guy in the TV show. It's a creepy moon. It looks like Trip to the Moon, but creepier. God, I couldn't have found a worse fucking picture of this. Holy
That's
shit.
terrific.
Where are the goddamn pixels? Anyway, so he's watching the show for the first time as a little kid, and it looks like the most horrifying thing in the world. And this is supposed to be in 1996. And I'm watching this, I'm like, dude, Goosebumps and whatchamacallit never went that hard. That's not realistic. And then later in the movie, he's like, yeah, so it showed up on streaming and I watched it. And it didn't feel the same. And you see, like, this is what it actually looked like. His kid brain made it seem so much scarier. I'm like, wow, that is the one relatable thing. Because I have gone back and watched stuff that scared me as a kid, as an adult. And I go, wait, this is fucking stupid. Why was I ever... I'm like, I imagine that being way creepier. That was like the one thing I
really
connected
cool.
to. I couldn't connect to anything else. And I like trippy, surreal stuff that is hard to figure out. But for whatever reason, it just wasn't doing it for me in this film at all.
It was slow, it was lagging. You're trying to constantly figure out, okay, where's the act, because it says horror fantasy, and I was like, okay, where's the horror aspect, where's the horror, okay, when's something gonna happen? And I'm waiting and waiting, and so I'm not really paying as much attention to everything else going on, and I'm like, okay, so the TV kind of sucks them in, and does it do I'd rather have seen the show. I want to see the actual show because I was like, the moon's really cool. The characters are really cool. I'd rather see that.
The show within the movie does feel like an Are You Afraid of the Dark sort of thing. I'm like, they actually nailed that aesthetic for it.
Well, specifically, same time period, but Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Yes. It was even like the same font. They even got Amber Benson, who played Tara from Buffy, to appear on the show within the show in this movie. So it's like very intentionally Buffy. Yeah, I didn't like the movie either. I think like I actually did enjoy the first half because I thought like when it actually had a narrative, and I thought it did a great job capturing little things like just even the scene in the car where he's laying down in the back seat. Like that is such a moment of childhood where you're small enough to comfortably lay down in the back seat, and then the point of view of like looking up at your parents and asking for something that for you is so big stakes at that age. Can I stay up till 10:30, 30 minutes past my bedtime to watch this show? Or even the idea of a show that you're obsessed with getting canceled and never getting a proper resolution. That's such a big thing to happen to you when you're younger. Like I remember shows getting canceled and it was like such a big deal to me. Now, I'm a little bit jaded by all that. But I thought it was cool the way I think the director did a great job of capturing those little moments. But
did anyone else think he was autistic? I thought for a second he was autistic.
Honestly, I've seen Justice Smith in a lot of movies, and he just kind of acts like that in every movie. So I don't actually know.
Because he just seems so off. And then I was like, okay, well, I don't remember.
He is a good actor. It's just sometimes he comes off a little weird in some of his films.
But he like couldn't. There's that whole eye contact thing. He couldn't keep eye contact and stuff. So I thought maybe it was like growing up with like autism or something like that. And plus in 7th grade, who's still doing the parachute game? I mean, I would have loved to, but I was apparently too old to do it in 7th grade.
And Crystal, you have to leave.
It just felt like it was his parents treated him like a child too when he was in 9th grade.
Well, they had stuff going on.
It's weird because the filmmaker set out for the second half of the movie for there to be this dissociated feeling. And the thing is, if they succeed in doing that, I am going to feel dissociated from the movie and disinterested. And that is exactly what happened. I was like, I don't know what's going on. I like the little hints. He finds a ripped up piece of paper from a magazine and it says like season 6 premiere for this show that we know ended in 5 seasons. And like that's like a weird kind of cool thing. And then when she starts hinting at I'm in the show, but once you realize, well, this is all sort of metaphor and surrealism, it's not actually happening, but maybe in the reality of the movie, I kind of lose interest.
Yeah. Now, Adam, did we sell you on this movie? Are you going to review it right away?
I did not see the TV glow. I can smell an A24 artsy pile of bullshit coming a mile away at this point. However, I do have a recommendation if you're looking for a new coming-of-age movie. It's called My Old Ass. I didn't think it would be good. It's also, I think it's A24. I'm not sure. No, it probably isn't. But it's Maisie Stella and Aubrey Plaza. And it's just a nice 90-minute fun film with some good drama. That's a good one. I would check that out.
Crystal, notice he said Aubrey Plaza.
What does she say?
When we did Agatha All Along, she must have said Audrey Plaza like 15 times.
Oh.
Well, Adam, thanks for the biopic recommendation. That sounds great.
Thank you.
I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel? What does he say?
Rewrite the wheel.
Rewrite the
Dude,
wheel.
I remember that the other day. I actually used that the other day, and I realized
rewrite the wheel.
I said it to someone. But yeah, Crystal, you got to get this stuff right. Me, the guy who wrote Ubron Legend, he's telling you what you need to do.
Well, I'm glad we're not friends
I
there,
wrote
Tony.
Ubron Legend. I'm so mad.
I'm not shocked at that. You took your damn good time too, setting up both films too.
Anyway, next up, I think it's the movie that no one here saw. Awesome.
How much did I say? I saw, I think, less than I saw. I saw the TV glow. I can tell you that.
Well, I'll make it real quick. I really like Rachel Sennett. A friend recommended this to me, and the last 2 Rachel Sennett movies she recommended were Bodies, 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 and Bottoms, and those 2 were bangers. So I watched this one. It's a really good, just like drama about a comedian. She used to be funny. Something happened to her. You know, she had a boyfriend and everything. She starts babysitting. The girl has a sad dad. Something happens, and she ends up not being funny. And it's a whole mystery. They're like, what happened with her and this dad that caused her to have like PTSD and be afraid of things? And it's framed like 2 ways. It's like, was she assaulted, or did she have an affair and the daughter found out and got really, really pissed off? Yeah, it's a huge mystery, except for when you watch it on Netflix and they just tell you right away in the disclaimer. So I didn't know that. I saw the disclaimer, and then when the whole movie was presented as a mystery, I was like, I already know. But other than that, it's a fine little melodrama. I liked it. It's got kind of an unrealistic ending. Like the movie we did last year, the one with Florence Pugh, where she becomes an alcoholic after her accident. And at the end, she's like, and now I'm not on drugs, and my boyfriend's coming back. I'm like, well, that's not how it works in real life. And this one, she's like, I saved the girl from a bad guy, and everything's all good. I'm like, I don't think that's how it happens in real life. But yeah, I'm sure I would have.
So wait, did the little girl, was she actually missing?
Yeah, she was with the dude who was giving her drugs.
Oh.
And Rachel saves her. Yeah, it's fine. It's on Netflix. I'd say check it out if you want like a nice drama.
There is definitely, it's weird. Do you think that they are self-aware of how hipstery and like kind of wokish their jokes are, right? It's kind of playing it because the guys in it are like, it's another female joke, another joke about guys, like hating guys. I thought it went a little, like we got it the first few times, but they keep saying it over and over.
Yeah.
So that got a little annoying.
But I liked it, and I would have loved to have heard what Joey C said about it, but he's probably throwing up his lungs right now. So let's move on to the next film. I'm guessing Adam didn't see this one either.
You know, it was recommended to me a bunch. I just didn't have a chance to watch it.
Okay,
I think I've seen everything else on your list, though.
Okay, good. I think you'd actually dig this one. So Oddity tells the story of a woman who gets murdered inside her brand new giant mansion.
Already love it. Already sold.
Already love it. She was murdered by her husband's, like one of her husband's patients. He works at like an insane asylum, and one of them gets released.
You don't find that out until the end, like closer to the end of the movie.
Well, I mean, that's what it's. No.
Oh, thanks, Tony. Hey, thanks. Can't wait to watch it now.
No. Turns out there's more than meets the eye, and I'm not talking about Transformers. So yeah, this guy, they think he murdered her. The husband gets a new girlfriend.
So the husband also works at an insane asylum. That's like
what
a
I
number.
said.
And then the one of the patients, you think
Yeah.
almost through the entire first, you think one of the patients comes to the door
Yeah.
and murders her.
Yes. It's his patient. Then later on,
You
we
think
find out
like
that
half of it.
the murdered girl has a sister who's a blind psychic medium who has like oddities, like these relics that are haunted. And it turns out she knows more about the murder than she's letting on. And then she brings them a giant wooden puppet, and then creepy stuff happens.
I'm sorry, I was half listening to you. Did you say how she was blind?
Yes, I did. I literally just
Tony, did you mention the puppet?
I mentioned the puppet. It's actually on screen right now.
What's this movie called?
Oddity. It's called Oddity. It's called I Used to Be Funny. That's Rachel Sennett. There she is right there. No, I really, really enjoyed this one. I was into the mystery. I kind of figured out halfway through, but it was still like a fun journey. I kind of wish there were more relics. This thing was creepy as hell. This weird puppet that moves when you don't look at it, like a video game. Like one of the new Resident Evils, Resident Evil 8. There's that thing where like the wooden puppets are chasing you around. Do you remember?
Sure.
You played
Yeah.
that game,
Sure.
right?
Of course. Yeah.
Or
yeah,
like
right.
the booze from Super Mario World.
Okay,
I'm
no,
not familiar with Booze, Mario. I don't know. You lost. This is a movie channel, guys. Come on.
But I thought it was a good time. Gil, what did you think?
I liked it. I thought it was just a great little horror thriller. I think I felt sometimes like there wasn't enough story, but at the same time, when it felt a little bit slow, it would lull me into a sense of security. And then when scary things happened, I was like, you know what? This pace is actually working well for this movie. And I think this director does suspense so well. Like the initial murder scene, guy shows up at the door and there's an interaction between him and the woman inside. I thought it was so suspenseful. Honestly, my only complaint of the movie is that the blind woman who has this psychic ability to touch objects and see memories, I feel like if you have that ability, there are certain actions and mistakes she made that I just don't get how she made them. If your sister gets killed, I feel like you would be intensely curious about that event. I'm going to touch everything in the vicinity, and I would pretty quickly figure things out. But buying into that, I thought the direction of the movie was great. I would love to see this director take on a more substantial story, something with more in it. But as a start, I thought this was great.
I will say I want to check out his other movies. He has a movie called Caveat with like a weird bunny thing, and I think that bunny thing makes a cameo in the background of one of these in this film. Crystal, what did you think of Oddity?
I really liked it. It actually felt very, very quick to me. I kind of want to see more. I thought the suspense was great. I think the characters were fantastic. I didn't like how the blind, like, I felt so bad when the blind lady actually died, like how she died.
Well, spoiler, but yes.
Well,
actually, no, I
I
didn't
was
feel
just
bad.
like, no, why did she have to die that
Crystal,
way?
she got tricked with a Looney Tunes trap. I saw
She
that. I'm
really
like, "You gotta be
did.
kidding me."
I
A
was
Wile E. Coyote came up with that trap, and she walked right into it.
I feel like she could have like prevented that. I don't know. It just, I was like, but the ending, I don't know if I hated it or like it. I liked it.
Oh, the very ending?
The
No,
very
I love it.
ending.
I loved the very
Without
end.
spoiling too much, they set up something very early in the film, and it pays off at the end. And I'm like, oh my god, I didn't think they were going to deliver on that.
But I wanted to see his life get destroyed at the same time because he's such a bad guy.
Yeah,
I wanted to see him get fucking tortured. Like,
He's such a bad guy, but he's also such a fun presence in the movie because there's all this like supernatural weird stuff going on around him, and he's just like, just shut up, logic. None of this is happening. Relax.
I kind of wish like all the oddities came at him at once, kind of.
Yeah,
I mean, the ending was
like
good.
Like the kid in
Like,
Toy Story, all the
Yeah.
toys crawling at him.
I will say that is like a giant mansion, and we only ever see this giant living room and one bedroom. I'm like, I want to see the rest of that house. It's so big.
yeah.
They're only ever in 2 rooms. What the fuck?
and there's
I
only
mean, I
one, I
haven't
guess
seen
now
it,
they
but-
have service.
What
All of
was
a
that,
sudden,
Adam?
what?
I'll let
Go
Crystal
ahead.
go. It's fine. No, go ahead. I just have a stupid joke. Go ahead.
No, it's
That's all
like
I
it was
can
odd.
provide.
It was odd that they could only get service in the one area of the house, right?
No,
Oh.
that's not odd. I feel like that. My house is like
But
that
the other,
sometimes,
but
so-
everywhere
Yeah,
else they were
I
fine.
only get service right here if I go on. There's a balcony back here.
But it seemed like the rest of the movie they had fine with cell service, and this was like a year, like within a year.
Well, I think at that point they installed like Wi-Fi.
Within that year, they said, "Fuck it, fuck the rest of the time." My wife's
Well, once
dead.
his
Time
wife
to
died,
install
he's
Wi-Fi.
like, I gotta clear out this blood, and also I gotta get fucking cable out here and set up a router.
You missed that line, Crystal. And also, I gotta get cable and router out here.
Yeah, that's what he said.
And for some reason, it was in Tony's voice.
I missed that.
But
Go
no,
ahead,
it's-
Adam. Adam has something to say.
Wait,
Tony.
Adam? Can I guess what
Adam,
you're
say
gonna
your
say?
joke.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm looking at this screenshot. Oh, I didn't know Fred Durst was in this movie too.
You got it.
Did I get
it? You got it.
Yes.
I've been doing the title thing too much. Our brains have
you're
synchronized.
So good. You know me, yeah. I was just gonna say the makeup effects are amazing. I can't believe you didn't point it out. Fred Durst is
You know, I'm remembering now
Yeah.
when you used to be on these streams, it would happen a lot where I would think of something. I'm like, oh, I have something funny to say. And then before I could say it, you would chime in, and I was like, damn it.
It was like, let me think like a third grader. What would he say? Got it.
I will say, when you actually do see this thing move, I was actually upset we saw it move. I wanted it to be like every time they turn away, it's a little bit closer. I didn't actually want to see it move. But yeah, the effect reminds me of like Wishmaster or Creepshow 2, the wooden puppet from Creepshow 2. It reminded me of that. But yeah, just a solid flick. Just a nice little ghost story. Doesn't overstay its welcome. It doesn't get too weird. There's not like some bullshit in there. I mean, it gets a little convoluted at some point with the bad guys plan.
You didn't see the doll until he was at the table, right? You didn't see him. This wooden doll. You
You
didn't.
see
You
a
don't.
glimpse when she, at
She
one
opens
point, the
up quick.
sister.
Oh, by the way, this is a. She says, "Oh, on your 5th year wedding anniversary, you need to give a present in wood." Now, Adam, you've been married for a while. Did you get anything like this for your 5th anniversary?
Tony, I haven't had anything. Well, we don't need to get into it, but no, I didn't. No. Happily married.
All right. Well, your next
Happily
anniversary, I'm gonna buy you a creepy wooden puppet. I'm gonna send it to you.
I keep telling my wife I need more wood in this relationship, and she's just not understanding what I'm getting at. Maybe someday. Yeah.
She keeps buying you firewood. You're like, we don't even have a fireplace. I don't understand.
Yeah. I'm at a different place in my life, and I don't know if you can fulfill my needs anymore. I need wood. Okay.
I was going to make that joke, Adam, but I felt like it was more appropriate for you to say it.
It was fair. That's fair. Yeah, I appreciate it.
But yeah, I'm gonna check out this director's other work. If you have Shudder or AMC Plus, definitely check it out. It is a solid, good time. All right,
I
next
just watched it.
Next up, Transformers 1. Now,
More like Gil.
Transformers, pretty good movie.
Oh, come on.
now, they advertised this, and I saw the trailer, and I went, "Oh, that looks stupid." And then it came out like a day before my birthday. I'm like, "Well, I'm not gonna ruin my birthday watching a dumb Transformers cartoon."
Puppy, what is this Paw Patrol bullshit?
Look, I've seen all the Transformers in films except for the last Michael Bay one. Okay, I skipped out on last night. I came back for Bumblebee and the other one. I'm like, I think I paid my Transformers dues. And I haven't heard anything good about the animated series that have been around. So I thought this was grouped in with that. And I'm like, okay, an origin story. I don't really need an origin story. I kind of know it a little bit. I thought it was going to be bad. Adam thought it was going to be bad. We were on a live stream and
Tony, hang on.
Yeah.
Hang on. Off camera before this started and Gil hadn't joined yet or Crystal, Tony was like, someone on your channel or someone said this movie was good.
That's what I'm about to say.
Did you remember who it was?
I didn't remember who it was.
Yeah, I know who it is. It was freaking Gil.
No.
Gil told us it was good.
Gil,
I just watched it for the first time yesterday. So
I wanted you to play with me.
I might have said it, but
Wait. Who does the streams with us besides Cecil? Chattel, what's his name? Fuck.
Joey C.
No, guy,
He's
on
here.
your
He's
channel.
dead. He's dying right now.
On your channel, the Chattel Bash. What's his last? Oh, God.
Oh, Tom Chattelbash. Yeah.
Yes, he's the one. So he was on stream. He saw it early, and he told us, like, no, guys, you don't get it. It's actually really good. And we're like, well, that can't be right.
Oh, Tom and Gil are basically the same person, so that would make sense why I confused them. Yeah.
So
I was confused of why you put this as a priority, and I was like scrolling through the movies to see like what I wanted to watch first. I was like, why this?
Some
and
people
then I
did
saw
tell
it.
me to check it out. I'm like, no, I'm good. So I put it on because then I started getting buzzed that it was actually good. And I turned it on the other night and I went, holy shit, this movie's great. What the like that trailer totally did it a disservice. It focused too much on like the cringe jokes, which aren't really that big of a thing. There's actually some really good jokes in here. But yeah, it is a overall really good time. I like the friendship between these two, even though that's not really canon from what I'm hearing. I like the bad guy Sentinel Prime way better than the Michael Bay version. And I like where it ended up, how it feels like the original Transformers. I actually loved it. I would watch it again. I didn't think I would like Chris Hemsworth as the voice. He's great. Adam, what did you think of it?
I agree. I saw this movie in theaters because I support cinema, unlike you folks, and I'm trying to keep it alive. So
it's the first movie on the list he's seen.
It's been a while since I've seen it, but yes, I was actually really hyped with this movie. I'm pumped. I thought Chris Hemsworth was going to be terrible because in the trailers he has like his kind of normal voice, but as the movie goes on, they actually kind of power up or evolve a bit, and it works so well. Even Fred Durst I thought sounded great as Megatron.
Fred Durst wasn't in this one, Adam. Adam, Fred Durst wasn't in this one.
Yeah, this time I'm gonna let it all come out. And wow, I didn't see that as Megatron, but he did it his way. The action's fantastic, visuals incredibly strong. It's got one of the coolest action set pieces in the final act when you get that kind of space battle and then it goes down into the city. I have no notes on this one. Runs really well from beginning to end, and it has a good amount of heart, which you expect from a Transformers film.
Yep.
And Optimus doesn't try to die every 5 minutes like he does in the Michael Bay movies. Sam, put the cube into my chest. And Sam's like, why? Everybody's dead. What's your problem, dude? Like, Optimus dies, I swear, in every single Transformers movie.
He died in this one.
Yeah, that's true. He did. You're right. God,
He did.
They always kill Prime every time.
Although, to be fair, in this one, it's only for like 5 seconds.
Yeah. And they kill him in the animated movie, too, from, whatever. Well, they kept him.
There are some characters. Did anybody else here see Lord of the Rings: War of the Rohirrim?
No,
unfortunately,
it was originally
because I support cinema.
I originally was gonna do what is the best animated Lord of the Rings, and we were gonna do all the old ones and that one. And I just got way too busy. Yeah. So I missed out on it.
But there's a sacrifice in that movie too, and it really feels like a moment of like, you don't have to kill yourself. No, there's no other way. You have to let me die.
Or is this about something else? It feels like you would just want to do this.
It's the equivalent of the henchman in Austin Powers 1 going, no! when the roller's coming at him. It's like, just move. You're fine.
Gil, what are your thoughts on Transformers 1?
Great movie. It's the only Transformers thing I've ever seen. So I'm very excited to go check out the Michael Bay movies after this. I've been putting it off for years.
Jesus
you know what's
Christ.
funny?
I like the first one.
Really?
I'll stand by it. Yeah.
I will say the last two, Bumblebee and Rise of the Beast, are like in live action are the closest you get to like an actual Transformers thing.
Okay.
Actually, it's funny because Steve Buscemi was in one of the worst Transformers movies, and then he comes back and hears a Starscream, like, oh, he redeemed himself. Good for him. So yeah, you enjoyed it.
I liked it. Yeah, I feel like it's not doing anything that groundbreaking. It's checking all the right boxes. But I think if the MCU and the DCEU have taught us anything over the last few years, it's not easy to check those boxes. You see them and they're trying to check them and they just miss. But plucky underdog hero bands his friends together to save the day. Telling that story well is not as easy as you would think. And then putting a fresh coat of paint on it with this great animation style and this mechanical 3D world, it's just a fun movie. My only complaint is the stuff that was in the trailer when it's in the movie. It's the Keegan-Michael Key character.
Bumblebee.
Cave.
They actually let Bumblebee talk.
Oh,
for the first
I guess
time in a million years.
Yeah, it's a cave with teeth on it. I guess we're going in there. Oh, did that really happen? Like, that is the... People talk about superhero fatigue. I don't know, you can debate if that's real or not, but I think that slice of it, that... I don't even know what you'd call it, that kind of sarcastic, ironic, meta humor, there's fatigue on that, I think. But that's a very small part of the movie. Overall, I thought it was great.
The big example is that, well, that just happened, and I finally watched the 2019 Hellboy, and it literally ends with, well, that just happened. I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. Crystal, as the biggest Transformers fan, you know every single Transformers. You have all their names memorized, and you're going to actually list them in alphabetical order right now. No, I'm kidding. What is your familiarity with Transformers, and how did you feel about this one?
I like Transformers. I like the original. The first movie I didn't hate. I just remember one of the, I don't know, it was 2 or 3. I don't fucking remember. All I know is we literally walked out of the movie early because we were just bored and didn't care to see the rest of it. We just walked out.
Like 2. 2 is the one.
I think it was 2.
Because I loved the first one, and I made my girlfriend go see the second, and I had to apologize to her on the car ride home. Like, I'm really sorry. That first one was really good. I didn't think it would be that bad. I'm like, Dwight from The Office was in it. I didn't think he was going to have such a small part. Sorry about that. But yeah, what did you think of this?
I liked this a lot. At first, I was like, oh, this just from the animation, like the cover of it, I was like, oh, this looks very kiddish because everyone's like smiling and happy. And I was like, why the fuck? He has Moana 2 on it. Like, does he want to get even lower? Like for 5-year-olds? Confused. I put it on. I thought it would be something in the background I can watch and have something to say about this. But I found myself actually sitting on the couch, fully engaged, watching it. I enjoyed it. I was happy. I was engaged. I thought there was great humor in it. Some of it was corny, but corny enough to enjoy. I think it's honestly great for every age, from young to older.
It's really.
I think overall, it was a really, really good movie.
Yeah. Speaking of humor, that joke in the beginning where you think Optimus is going to transform and he just runs away, that actually had me rolling. That was like way funnier than I was not ready for that, because how bad the jokes were in the trailer when they do the thing and then it just cuts to him. He's like already 10 feet away running. I'm like, oh, that's fucking great. I was a little confused. So Scarlett Johansson plays some character, and I thought she was Arcee because that's the only lady Transformer whose name I remembered. And she was not her, and that bothered me.
But weird.
Yeah. Because they all changed their names. Like, well, now she's going to be Arcee. And she's like, no, I'm still the same person. And then I saw Arcee, and she was just a random background Transformer. I'm like, and then it hit me. I'm like, I actually don't know a lot of the Transformers outside of like a handful.
Well, speaking of robots, I have one more recommendation for you, show for recommendation. And I noticed we're not talking about it on the list because, of course, we had to make room for I See the Fucking TV Glow. And,
seriously.
I used to be funny indie bullshit. The Wild Robot was the best animated film of the year. It is a tearjerker, folks. You got to see The Wild Robot. It's an amazing movie.
Tony, why didn't you put like really good films on this?
Yeah.
What? Transformers 1? Is it a Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2? That wasn't a winner for you?
Why did you have to make it? Like, I had less than a week to watch all these films. I was like, what the fuck, Tony? Really? You're torturing me.
In my defense, I picked ones that looked interesting that I wouldn't have a chance to talk about, and some of them didn't.
But you didn't watch them ahead of time to know if they're even going to be decent to talk about.
No, because it's way more fun to find out. It's way more fun.
No one cares about the TV glowing.
Yeah, it's really fun to watch the chat too. And like 90%, I'm like, what the fuck is this movie? What's this movie? What is this?
My skip button is broken. I saw that one earlier. That's pretty good.
It's like a troll at this point, Tony. Every month you come up with like the most cockamamie movies to watch.
Look, I put a couple big ones in there, but look, I like.
Make them all big. Make them all big.
Things that people want to hear about, not like oh wow.
I like talking about indie stuff, so I don't go crazy just talking about superheroes constantly. I need a break.
Then pick good indie stuff. How about that?
Can we get there? I'm guessing here.
There had to be other good movies that happened this year, Tony. You're making 2024 look like the worst.
Yeah. Go on Rotten Tomatoes, look for movies that have like a 99% approval, and then look for the 1% guy who says it's shit, and then take his word for it, okay? That's how you know.
Listen to Adam Does Movies and Armand White.
And Roper was in the mix, I think, or one of those guys. Hold the line, Roper.
Ebert and all them, they weren't always in the mix. They usually went back and forth. Which, by the way, I ordered my Godzilla Never Forget shirt. It still hasn't come in, but I'm excited. Nice. I'm excited to wear that. But yeah, Transformers 1. Loved it. It was great. I'll probably show it to the twins and they might enjoy it. Next up, Conclave. Where my Conclaviacs at? Yeah.
Conclave, interesting enough, was one of the least viewed reviews on my channel in like 6 months. So another banger of a movie to talk about right here.
Thanks, Tony.
Thanks, T Money. Is Heretic on this list at some point? We
We
one?
reviewed that last
That was
month.
last month.
That was last month.
Perfect.
What was this month?
actually-
What this was? Wait. October's month? An October's movie?
No, this is yes.
Well, there was no better other movie in October at all whatsoever that came out. I am so confused.
No, maybe there
October
was.
movie releases
Look,
2024.
thank
I-
you,
is-
Adam.
Crystal, as
Is
a
Craven
Adam,
on here?
please.
Red
oh
One.
no, Craven
We could
is
have
part
talked
of
about
Monday's episode where we go through all of them.
Smile 2.
I
Oh wait, we already did that one.
Okay.
Come on, there's got to be something. Give
You
me-
know what? No.
It doesn't have to be
Salem-
theatrical. It doesn't have to be
Okay,
theatrical.
well, Time Cut was fucking trash. Salem's Lot was bad.
I'd rather have talked
oh.
about Time Cut than this movie.
Tony,
Yeah.
does
Or
all
is
this
it-
go into the?
Adam. In
Yeah.
2021, I remember telling Crystal we should do the Salem's Lot movie when it comes out.
Yes.
And then they pushed it back. And then
Yes.
we came up with the best worst format. And in 2022 and 2023, I kept telling her, I'm like, yeah, we're gonna do like the original direct-to-TV movie, the 2000s one, and the new one when it comes out.
Yeah.
When
Mhm.
they announce it, I'll put
Mhm.
it on the calendar. And they kept pushing it back and pushing it back. Crystal moves. A week later, they go, Salem's Lot's coming out next month. I'm like, I have no fucking time to read the book and watch all of that. I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Why would you do this to me?
Yeah,
You
that's
can always
that's
do
tough.
it later, Tony.
That's tough.
Yeah. Anyway, Conclave, I thought it had a really good trailer. I wasn't actually going to review it, but then I heard like really good things about it. And I'm like, you know
Well,
what?
yeah, you and I did the what was the Golden Globes video together.
Yeah,
The
and
li-
it kept
and
getting
Conclave
nominated for stuff.
was nominated for like 6 things, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, so in a way, you kind of made me review this because that
You're
stream
welcome.
you asked me to be on.
You
This
suck.
is like your fault.
You're welcome, everyone.
Tony, please watch the films before you tell us to review things, please.
No,
Please,
it's way
that's all
more
we
fun
ask.
to go in blind. Look. This movie tells the story of a pope that's recently died, and a conclave has to come together to elect a new pope. We find out that there's conspiracies about people are trying to sabotage each other. There's only one woman in the movie who talks, and it's Isabella Rossellini. She's also suspicious of these conspiracies. Ray Fiennes is the one that has to like get everyone together and make sure this election goes off. While that's happening, apparently terrorist attacks are happening outside the Vatican that we never get like real information on. At the end, they have to finally pick a new pope, despite we skipped ahead to Moana too.
That was a
At the end, they got
really
a
weird
lot of
turn in the
pope.
movie.
They have to go ahead and pick a new pope, despite all their many, many, many flaws. Now, Adam, I think you're like me. You were raised a nice Catholic boy. How did you feel about Conclave?
You know, I was actually really digging this movie. It is a very, as the kids say, slow burn. People love that expression, but
Yes.
it is. It moves slow, but it's beautiful to look at. There is some good intrigue in this film. I love the idea of going inside the Ministry of Magic, so to speak, in a Harry Potter universe, because that's kind of what it feels like, seeing the inside inner workings of these priests and the Pope, and just kind of how bonkers it all really feels when you look inside for the first time.
I love the
go
head
on.
games they're doing on each
Yeah,
other.
yeah. Well, yeah, it's a thriller and it's a suspense, and so there's kind of a game of chess going on. There's politics because the Pope dies and they need to find a successor. So the conclave is formed, head up by Ray Fiennes, or however you say his name. Love the actor. John Lithgow is great. All the actors are great.
Yeah.
But this is going to be a vote by popularity situation, and so the entire picture is going to be wrangling up enough votes to get the next guy in, and that means digging up dirt on the other priests, making them look bad. And also, they're not supposed to have contact with the outside world, so everything needs to stay within, even though people are not playing by the rules. So it's a little salacious, it's a little fun. And then the last 10 minutes happens, flips everything on its head, and I'm left like, what the fuck is this? And I'm not necessarily like upset about it. I'm just disappointed. I'm not mad. I'm disappointed as a father who wasted his time watching this thing. Not one of the best movies I saw this year because the ending dropped the ball so bad.
I will
but
say
it's going to be taster's choice on that.
the ending is such a big curveball that I'm now like, and then it just ends. I'm like, wait, I want to see the repercussions of that. That's a whole other movie. How do
I'm guessing no one finds out though.
Well, we'll
I'm
find
guessing.
out. I don't know.
Is that Conclave too? Like,
no,
do we find out?
That's the entire kind of arc of our lead character. Is he wants to be a better man than the other people here, and he wants to do the right just thing, which in this case might mean keep a big secret that could destroy the church.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, Gil.
Yes.
You know, you're very well versed in Christian Catholic stuff.
Ghost of Christmas Present.
Yeah, you were the Ghost of Christmas Present in my Christmas special, and you seem to confuse the Ghost of Christmas Present with the angel from It's a Wonderful Life, and you did the complete wrong gimmick. Now, how did you... I loved it. I watched it. I'm like, wait, no, that's not what the Ghost of Christmas Present... He doesn't show you what your life is like if you weren't there. That's the angel from It's a Wonderful Life.
I was literally typed into Google Ghost of Christmas Present just to see what is their thing. And then I was like, wait a minute, I can work with this.
If you guys don't know, all three ghosts in my Christmas special were all Jewish. All my Christmas ghosts were Jewish members of Hack the Movies. I thought it'd be funny. Now, how did you feel about Conclave? Were you confused about anything? Do you need me to explain anything to you?
Well, actually, not knowing anything about the Conclave, I didn't even know what the word conclave meant. But Adam, what you were talking about, like seeing into the ministry of magic, I think I probably felt that to even a greater degree because I'm so unfamiliar with all this stuff. And I feel like what you want to do in the first act of a movie is just grab your attention and show something unfamiliar, get invited into a different world. So I definitely felt that. And I do think the movie, for the most part, was a great thriller. And it's nice to see a thriller where the stakes aren't at least immediately life and death. It's just how are we going to come to this decision? And that being the central question of the movie. You have all these people who disagree. It's like 12 Angry Men. How can you possibly get them on the same page? That's the tension of the movie. And when the resolution is, without spoiling anything, that easy and unsatisfying, it does kind of ruin the rest of the movie. Not even getting to like the end of the movie where you find out something else, but just the thing that brings everybody together, I found so deeply unsatisfying. But I wouldn't say, I guess I was about to lie. I was going to say, I wouldn't say that ruins the movie, but I think 10 seconds ago, I said exactly that. But I enjoyed like 85% of the movie. And I mean, I won't just repeat everything you said, Adam, but great cast all around. Everything else about it was great, I thought.
Now, Crystal, as someone who's considering going into a nunnery and becoming celibate and stuff, was this movie a good advertisement for you to join the sisterhood?
Absolutely. I love to be not even seen and not heard, like just not even exist. It's fantastic. I hate going last on this thing because actually I do kind of feel like I'm part of the nunnery because everyone says all the great things. And I'm just like, yeah, guys, like as if I know nothing. And I'm like, well, everyone said everything.
Rossellini of the episode.
Tony, quick question. How do you pick the order of the grid format? Is it, do you select that yourself or is it whoever shows up at the end is the last in the lineup?
It's just whoever. I did it in order of who comes in here.
I'm literally always the last one.
Last month, he put me on first last month, and I was like, I got a promotion, and then this time I know I did something wrong because he was like my best friend.
It's not until the tunnel comes that the order gets moved.
But I'm always last. I always end up going through the tunnel at some point, and
I think he likes putting you last because then.
No. So
Tony, can you silence the woman on the panel? She's talking too much. It's.
Can I say what I thought of them?
Yeah.
No, great idea, Adam. No, Crystal, what did you think of it?
It was funny, actually, Tony. That was actually funny. You did a funny thing.
Yay, I'm funny.
Ooh, okay, that's over. I think I had more all of these movies, I didn't watch a trailer. I honestly try to go into some of these movies blind and not knowing what they're about. Because I feel like sometimes descriptions completely ruin the movie. Or sometimes trailers, like you said with Transformers 1, it kind of, you thought it was going to be shit and it wasn't. So I went into this completely blind. I like these types of movies where it's like the church is kind of battling with each other or something like that, where it's kind of corrupt, like a little bit of a corrupt world.
Yeah.
And realizing that pretty quickly in this movie, I had higher expectations, but as it went along, it felt very, very long. Acting, phenomenal. It was absolutely beautiful. It was just so long. The pacing for me just needed to be quicker. Like, I understood what was happening. Can we please speed it up a little bit? I liked the sabotaging, but you can see where the movie is going, and it started to feel more and more forced. And I'm like, nope, I'm getting it. I see him getting, you kind of knew as soon as the one guy was introduced, you're like, oh, we kind of understand where he's going. And then he's getting more and more votes. And then towards the end, who was eventually chosen, you're like, oh, I saw that from as soon as he was introduced. Like, his whole speech was like, I'm sorry, but after seeing that kind of corrupt society, I don't think every single one of them really would have voted for him anyway. It felt too forced, too fake. We live in a happy-go-lucky world. And at the very, very end, I was like, I didn't hate that was a thing, but I did not like it there.
No.
Yeah.
And if you've seen the movie, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I will say I love Stanley Tucci in this, because early on he's like, I don't even want to be the Pope.
I love it. Oh, but there's that, and then there's that great line though. Because of that, we want the person who doesn't want to be Pope. The one that wants to be Pope is dangerous, and I love that line.
Who is this guy, Tedesco? So they talk about how like the church has problems with like corruption and conspiracies and stuff, and this guy's idea is to make it more Italian. And I went, oh no, that's not gonna work. Get that out of there right now. But no, everyone hates him. Stanley Tucci is like, I don't even want to be the Pope, but I just have to make sure he doesn't win. And then like Stanley Tucci does really poorly on the first two votes. And he's
that was the make popes great again, or the make priests great again guy. He was like, we need to go back 80 years when things were great. And I'm like, okay, this is really,
Adam, I couldn't believe,
really obvious.
I couldn't believe there was a racist old Italian guy. I'm like, who would believe such an outlandish thing? But yeah, no, Stanley Tucci's like, I don't even want to be it. And then when he loses, he starts freaking out. And it's just like, he's just like, I didn't think you wanted to win. It's like, it's clear that he does want to win. He's like, we all want to be the Pope. Every single one of us wants to be the Pope, even you. And even Ray Fiennes, he does kind of give in a little bit because he starts getting a lot of favors. Like, people start favoring him. So I liked seeing that. I liked that whole aspect. And then they throw you that curveball. And I'm like, no, the movie needs to keep going if you're throwing that curveball. You can't just end right there.
I really want to learn Latin now.
I will say this will be a fun movie to put on for your grandparents, because they're probably gonna love it, and they're probably gonna get really mad at the end. So have fun with that.
Just end it like what, 20 minutes before the movie ends. It goes to down.
Oh yeah, he won. All right, let's go eat dinner, Grandma. But wait, was there more? No.
Long live the Pope.
Well, they probably didn't realize that the Pope, who doesn't, he's dead right away, was played by Fred Durst. That went over their heads as well. Got to get it in there, Gil. Got to get it in there.
You beat me to it, Adam. I was waiting for the mic drop at the end.
Hold on.
And after you saw I had this grin on my face, I was like,
that's right. Where's he
these
at?
guys away.
I'm Googling Fred Durst. I want to see how many movies he was in this year.
He's a director. He is a director.
Yeah, he directed that awful John Travolta movie.
He was trying to go. He was trying to go the route of Rob Zombie, but it didn't pan out.
Why didn't we review that one?
It came out like 10 years ago.
I think we should review it.
Oh, what the fuck? It looks like he's just starting to do movies. It was TV and commercials or playing himself. Guys, we're in like the Fred Durst era. He's going to be like the next huge actor, guys.
Nice. The Fredissance. I like
We're
it.
in a Fredissance. We're in a Fredissance. Jesus fucking Christ. I never thought I'd say the word Fredissance. Yeah, I'm excited to see where his career goes. What did he direct?
He's gonna win an Oscar at some point. He's gonna go up on stage and be like, I used to do it all for the nookie, but now I do it for cinema. Thank you guys, thank you guys. And he just walks off.
I can't wait to talk about.
He's just gonna play this clip and say, "That's what I do. That's why I do it."
Exactly.
Hold on. Where did I just lost my place? Hold on.
We can move on, right? Are we still on this movie for some reason?
No, I wanted to see. He directed something called Loserville, but it's not a movie. It's like a show or something. All right, yes. Next up, Moana 2. Now, you guys are probably wondering, Tony, why the hell is Moana 2 on the list? You always say cartoons are for children, and it's not related to some 80s shit. Well, the reason it's on the list is because I had to take my nieces to it, and I saw the movie, so I might as well review it.
And nothing else came out in November, apparently.
Well, we covered those on that episode.
Transformers 1 was a cartoon.
Well, Moana
He said
2,
related to 80s too, so he's got that.
I've been talking about this a lot, I think, with Adam on his streams. Moana 1 is a movie that I thought was okay and didn't care about, and now thanks to my nieces, I've had to watch it 500 times. So, of course, we were like, well, we got to take them to the movie theater to see Moana 2. We were expecting them to want to leave 10 minutes in, scream, run around, because I'd never taken like a young kid to see a movie before. They were super invested. They just sat there staring at the screen in amazement for like all 2 hours of this. So that was a lot of fun. What can I say about the story? Remember the first Moana? She's doing that again, only instead of looking how to save the ocean, she's looking for other people, and she fights a bat lady who works for a cloud. And then at the end of the credits, you find out that the cloud is actually a guy. This started off as a animated series for Disney Plus, which I found out late, and I got worried. I'm like, oh no, did they just stitch a bunch of TV episodes together? But apparently early enough into the production of that, they decided, like, no, let's turn this into a movie. I thought it was okay. What did you think, Adam, as someone who watches all this animated stuff all the time? You were just talking about Wild Robot, a movie for babies. How did this rank compared to that?
Well, fun fact, the guy that voices that character is Lars from Metallica. Bet you didn't see that coming. I switched it up. This is fine. It's a fine movie. It's hard to criticize when it's just kind of the same thing again. I mean, I guess you could criticize it for that, but Home Alone 2. I love Home Alone 2. You give me the same thing, only better, then I guess that's where we're at. Moana has some solid songs, some not so great ones. It's got an adventure that doesn't make a ton of sense, where she's got to go like reunite the tribes. I'm not really sure what the threat is. It's never shown. It's only talked about that some evil sky god is going to hurt them. It's not Zeus, is it? Who is it? Who's the character?
I forget his name, but yeah, like I thought he was just like an ethereal thing like in the first movie, but then the post-credit sequence, like, no, he's actually a dude and he's Thanos, and he's gonna team up with the crab from the first movie. I'm like, what the fuck is this post-credit?
It's the same movie. They even go see this like vampire lady at one point, and then she's just gone from the rest of the film, kind of like the crab is in the first. Although it made more sense in the first movie because you could tell she was at Monster Island and he didn't really have any beef with them outside of them going in his territory. Yeah. She had this whole like subplot where she was going to get free from her chains. And I know too much about this movie for some reason. And I'm already dying inside just talking about Moana 2. But I'm very nice when it comes to animated films that are for all ages and specifically geared at little children. I think this does a perfectly fine job and it's entertaining for adults as well.
Like I said, the twins were super invested.
And this is a movie that felt like Disney had the help of AI to create, not as far as the script, but just as far as like the flow, the schematics of the movie. Because it seemed like every time a child could possibly yawn, the robot goes, put in the chicken, put in the pig, put in the coconut warrior. Just something has to happen to keep their investment throughout the movie.
I will say it was funny because it happened like twice. Where if a character wasn't on screen for too long, one of the girls would look at us and be like, Maui's coming. And sure enough, the next scene he would be there. I'm like, oh, fuck, they called that. I'm like, they've never seen it. It's literally the first time any of us are seeing this. Now, Gil, you're like the biggest Moana fan in the world. You're excited to do your Moana timeline. How did you feel about Moana 2?
No Moana 2.
Oh, damn.
I didn't see this one
Oh darn!
or the first one.
Oh darn!
Well, first one's actually really good.
It is really good. Gil, I think I called this one Mid-Wana in the thumbnail. So you're
Mid-Wana.
close.
That's
yeah,
pretty good.
Mid-Wana. Yeah, it's all right. No Wana is actually maybe better, but I didn't hate it, so.
You said
Now,
no would be
Crystal-
too strong, yeah.
No, it's
Crystal,
too
you
strong.
just moved
We'll
to a
talk.
tropical environment. You're around the water all the time. I'm sure you ran out to the theaters to see Moana 2 and base your whole identity around it. Oh no, you didn't see it either?
No, I didn't want to. There was nothing intriguing about this that I'll watch it when it comes out on Disney Plus. I love Disney too.
that's
I
fair.
like Disney movies.
Yeah.
It just wasn't. As of right now, there's not as many good Disney sequels. Like I swear, Toy Stories will always be my favorite. The last Toy Story was good. I will not say it's bad, but
The Buzz
they've
Lightyear
been
movie?
missing.
No,
Oh,
no,
you
no.
meant-
This
No.
Yeah,
is
you meant Toy Story 4. I know. I
No.
still
that, you know
haven't
what,
seen Toy
Crystal?
Story 4.
That's a fair comparison. I would say Moana 2 is kind of like Toy Story 4. Doesn't need to exist, but it's there for money, and it does the job. It's fine. And it was supposed to be a Disney Plus TV series that they just turned into a movie.
It-
And
Should have been.
But
I
I'm
actually,
glad-
it probably would have been
Yeah.
more interesting to be honest. Like I
I
would have
agree.
been more
Yeah.
intrigued because
I'm
now there's a
glad-
bigger storyline.
I'm
Yeah.
glad they made the decision to do that early because people were saying it's going to be like the 90s when they would do sequels to like
Oh,
Lion King 2. And
yeah.
Beauty and the... Funny enough, the guy who wrote Lion King 2, Beauty and the Beast 2, and Hunchback of Notre Dame 2 is in that Killer Grinch movie I mentioned earlier. He also
That's
wrote
funny.
that, and he gets killed by the Killer Grinch. I was like, wow, what a small world, because I just got done bitching about the Beauty and the Beast one a few weeks back. I'm like, this guy, he ruined my life in the 90s with a terrible Beauty and the Beast sequel. But those sequels always had terrible
wait,
animation.
the Enchanted Christmas one?
Yeah. Enchanted Christmas, where it's like literally now when you watch the first movie, you have to pretend that at some point in the first movie they fought a Tim Curry piano.
Yeah.
And it makes me so mad. I'm like, no, because they would constantly be like, holy shit, we fought that talking piano. Wasn't that weird?
I didn't
Anyway.
see it. I would already at the age of like 9. I
Yeah.
was already a cynical little shit. And when movies from Disney went straight to VHS at the time, like no, oh, that's a pass. Not gonna be good. Doesn't have the same voice actors. Animation's garbage. I'm out.
I feel like
I'm glad to know.
I feel like Jafar's Return of Jafar was like the one that tricked me. And then by
No,
the time
no.
Lion King 2 came out, I'm like, no, I'm not falling for these anymore. But I had
Lion
a
King
younger
2
sister.
wasn't horrible. I think it was
Yeah.
okay. I think it was one of the better sequels, and there's not really that many of them.
I didn't see any of them.
Gil, when can I expect your Lion King timeline video? And will it include the live action ones, or will it just
Oh,
focus
and
on?
Mufasa. Does anyone actually want to see Mufasa?
No,
No.
no.
I did a video how
No.
I'm not going to see it because I needed to somehow stay
Cri-
relevant.
Crystal,
I want it to be good.
Lion
Everyone get
King-
mad at me.
I
Yeah.
love Lion King.
I
Lion
don't
King's
do
one
it
of
for
my
the
favorites.
rage.
Lion King
No,
is
I was planning on a lot of people to agree with me to come over, and they did. That was like a 99% split.
Look, I love Lion King. It's my favorite of the 90s
Yeah.
Disney stuff. I still haven't watched the live action remake, and I probably
I
never
haven't
will, to be
either.
honest.
I don't want to see it. I don't.
It's terrible.
I don't. I heard the music and
Yeah, that's what I did. I
didn't
listened
want to
to
watch it.
I listened to Be Prepared because that's my favorite song, and I heard the movie version and it sucked, and I went, "No, I'm not seeing it." Anyway,
But speaking of musicals, also we
Okay.
decided to do this instead of Wicked.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
Tony's MO. Let's skip all
Crystal, I
the
said
mainstream
this-
movies.
I said this last month. I would have done Wicked, but when I found out it was a secret part 1, I went, "Fuck you!" There's
Because
no chance in hell I'm seeing 2 fucking Wicked movies. I would have done one.
It makes
I would have
sense.
done one Wicked. I'm sure it makes sense, but the fact that they were tricking you, like, there's been too many movies that try to trick people with the part 1, part 2 lately.
Yeah.
And
just
I'm
assume
like,
they're
no.
all part 1. That's all you gotta do. And when
don't-
it ends, be happy. They have to go back.
No, I
I
don't
think
want to
Fast 10 was the biggest shocker that was a freaking part 1. Fast 10. What the fuck? Why?
So the next one could be called Fast 10 too. It'll be great.
Oh.
No,
Yeah.
it's awkward with Mission Impossible because it's Dead Reckoning Part 1, and then the next one's called Final Reckoning. And I'm like,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, come on. You didn't have to change the name. Like, what the
Well, I think that's because part 1 didn't do as well as they wanted. So they're like,
but I've
we
been saying-
cannot let anyone know this is a
I've
part
been
2.
saying that was a fluke. That was bad timing.
Yeah.
It came out after.
It was
a
right
couple
after Barbenheimer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right?
And a couple other secret part ones. At least that one advertised it was a part one. I feel like they could have kept the next one will probably do fine. I think they panicked a little
And it
too much.
still did really well. It's just the budget ballooned because of COVID. They had like 1,000
they started
reshoots
right
and
before,
a ton of financial issues.
Anyway, Moana 2, a movie so good we talked about 10 other movies. Next up, Y2K 2000 party's over.
Yep. The only
Adam,
movie on this list that doesn't have Fred Durst in it.
Adam, you'll be shocked. Not only does it have Fred Durst in it, he plays himself.
Yeah.
Another A24. I was shocked this was an A24 movie. It doesn't feel like it.
I'm gonna be a gentleman and a scholar and let Crystal go first on our opinions on this film.
Oh yeah, Crystal. what did
Thank
think
you
of
so
Y2K?
much.
You're welcome.
I didn't see it.
Oh,
Damn
that's
it.
great, Crystal. That's great.
The one time.
I know.
Well, you
I
have
want to see it too. And I
stars
just
everyone's favorite, Rachel Ziegler, who's going to be in that horrible Snow White movie coming.
Isn't it Zegler? Is it Ziegler?
Whatever.
Which-
Whatever.
Oh,
Who's that?
okay. Have some respect for the Zeg Queen.
She was in
Who is that?
Shazam 2, and she was in Hunger Games prequel part 1.
She's famously known for being the new Brie Larson, where she says a couple dumb things and then
Yeah.
they make 1,000 YouTube videos talking about how much she sucks.
I have no idea who she is, but she's really, really pretty.
So
Yeah, she is
why-
pretty. To be fair, she does
My
say
God.
some really like just cringy shit, but she's also like 20.
Oh, she was
she's
in
young.
West Side Story. She was in West Side Story.
Yeah, that was like
Yeah.
her big one.
yeah.
so
She was actually
Y2K
really good in that.
Yeah, Y2K is directed by Kyle Mooney from SNL. He also plays Stoner in the movie. Takes place New Year's Eve 2000. Everyone's worried about the Y2K bug. And by the way, I love the marketing because when I saw these
That's
posters, I'm like, holy
phenomenal.
shit! I remember posters that look like that.
Every music video was in like some weird
yeah.
room. Are you kidding me?
even like the
Yeah, the
font and
fisheye
everything.
lens going
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
Yes.
So it's these two boys, they want to party. One wants to be a party guy, the other one is like a little restrained. It's the you've seen it a million times where like there's the fat friendly one, the skinny nerdy one. They
I have
go to
a feeling the
party.
one holding up the condom is the nerdy one, right? Not the partier,
no,
right?
No. And of course the nerdy
He's the
one
same
likes
character
girl.
he was in Deadpool 2.
Yeah. So yeah, they're hanging out on 2000 and then suddenly the Y2K bug hits. And at first I was like, well, this isn't what the Y2K. It wasn't going to make your toaster attack you. That
Yeah.
wasn't the problem. But and then as the movie went on, I'm like, "Oh, it's kind of making fun of how like people in the 90s didn't really understand any of it and they were like over exaggerating and shit." So yeah, all the appliances that have microchips come to life and they turn into robots. They start hunting humanity down, but only in this town. Weird enough, it only is like located just with this town. And yeah, they have to band together to stop the robots and hack into it. They're hackers, and they team up with Fred Durst, who happened to be in town doing a concert when the robots attacked everyone. I didn't think the movie was great, but I had a lot of fun with it. And when it comes to like feeling like the early 2000s, I'm like, holy shit, some of this is taking me back. I mean, it's exaggerated a little bit, but when they go through the party and there's like the kids who are into swing music, because there was a weird swing music
I
revival
don't
in the
remember
90s.
that. You told me about that. Does anyone remember
Does anyone?
that?
I guess everyone forgot it. It didn't last long. There's all
don't-
the different groups. They're all being assholes. I really, really enjoyed it. I don't know if it was great, but I had fun with it. Adam, where did you land on Y2K?
Yeah, I thought the first half was actually really strong and funny. And then once the kind of uprising started, the thing fell flat on its face for me and I became
Really?
bored by the end of it. I don't think it's terrible. It's a watchable movie. Durst is terrible in it. What a missed opportunity to have some fun with, his former characterization with
Yeah.
Limp Bizkit. But some of the characters were just not good. There's the one girl who's the Fred Durst, the Limp Bizkit sycophant, and
Yeah.
she sucked the whole time. There's also like the slam poetry version of a rapper, and he wasn't funny ever.
Who hates all the mainstream stuff? He's such a fucking
Yeah.
contrarian. Yeah.
Yeah, you can
Kind of
tell
like
this
how
was
you guys don't like my cool indie movies that I pick, like I saw this-
exactly. This did feel like a movie written by a SNL writer because there's some decent stuff here for half of a skit, and then they always overstay their welcome, and they inevitably fizzle out by the end. Except for the David Pumpkin skit, which is brilliant from beginning to end. I'll stand by that. But no, this wasn't great. I think I laughed out loud a couple times. One being freaking hilarious when a dude, they're gonna run away from the robots, and the guy sees the perfect opportunity to grind on a basketball pole, and just completely bodies himself in like one of those Family Guy-esque like quick drops to the ground. Like that was freaking hilarious. Everything else.
There was in one of the like Scary Movie or Not Another Teen Movie, in one of those, there was like a star football player who's running onto the field and he steps on like an acorn and his leg just like twists, and that ends up being like I was like, this reminded me of that joke.
There's a really insulting thing in this, and that's that they have Tim Heidecker and Alicia Silverstone as the parents who do nothing.
Yeah.
Getting Tim Heidecker in this movie just he's one of the funniest, like what is the term he uses? It's like anti-comedy or whatever he used to do on his TV series, but it's off the beaten path humor, but he plays a straight man here. There's nothing funny about this character.
I think they had something cut out. So they hang out with Rachel and her like ex-boyfriend at that big like warehouse or whatever, and they leave. When it cuts back and she's doing hacker stuff, I think the main kid's parents are in the background. I'm like, wait, that's Tim Heidecker.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, I saw them in the background, and then they're all at the school together. So I think there was an extended scene where the parents made it there, and then they all got kidnapped and moved. But at the end, they're all meeting each other for the first time. So I think they changed something in post, but I guess they didn't have enough coverage of her. So I think I have to watch it again. I think Tim Heidecker's just in the background of that scene, part of some deleted subplot.
I mean, if they were cutting the stuff that doesn't work and just leaving in the best stuff, we probably aren't missing anything that great.
No, yeah, no kidding. Yeah, this wasn't terrible, just not anything too remarkable either. It felt like a very big missed opportunity for a really special, fun comedy.
It could have been a little bit better, but I kind of enjoyed it.
Is it a fun one though? Would you say would it be a fun movie to like if it's streaming?
Yeah,
because that's what it sounds like a fun movie to put on, not really thinking, doing a little mushrooms or whatever, you know.
Crystal, you're probably quite a bit younger than me, so I don't know if you'd get all the references, but this was definitely a movie geared towards people my age who grew up with all of this shit from the 90s. Like there's so many references in the first half hour, from like the beaded rooms at Blockbuster video type rental stores, and just the music they're playing. There's a great soundtrack in this movie.
Adam, how old are you?
I'm 42 now. I'm a youngin' at 42.
Wow.
Yeah.
You look good for your age.
Well, okay.
But I remember all that stuff. So.
Okay. Well, yeah. Then I think you'd laugh just from seeing the references. I mean, Billy Blank's Tybo even has a like. Why are we going to that?
So Gil, I asked you 3 times and cut off each time. What did you think of the movie?
Yeah, I think I liked it less than you guys. Because, I mean, but not by much. I mean, it seems like neither of you really loved it. I
you're 19, so you can't relate to anything.
That's right. I was like, Nintendo 64? What the hell is that?
Where are the iPhones? He says on his iPhone to his buddy.
I enjoyed like the first 20 minutes, which felt kind of like a super bad knockoff, just done in the late 90s with a lot of references. It's an imitation of something I liked that I haven't seen in a while, and it's got a lot of references. I'm like, you've got mail. I'm like, oh, I haven't heard that in a while. And that guy actually passed away a couple of months ago. The guy who said you've got mail.
Legend.
And he used to have a website where you could hire him to personalize that. So he'd be like, you've got mail, Gil.
Oh, nice.
But,
so he did Cameo.
Basically, before Cameo, he invented Cameo, basically. He was an Uber driver.
But it's like a shitty version of Cameo. You have to actually order a CD that gets mailed to your house, and you have 20 hours of free service.
After the actual robot stuff started happening, I just thought it completely fell apart.
Yeah.
A lot like Winnie the Pooh, actually, where it's not taking advantage of the fun premise. Because to me, the fun thing is random appliances coming to life and attacking you, which the first scene does when they all come alive. But then
that part's so good too.
That part was great. And then when they very quickly start combining into sort of humanoid robot things, and then it becomes just like any other zombie monster apocalypse. The monsters just happen to be made of robots. And then if you even accept that and say, is it a good one of those movies? It's just so tonally confused where sometimes it'll play like a completely irreverent comedy where people are dying but laughing at the same time. And then in other scenes, it'll try to play itself kind of straight where death actually matters. And I don't think the two ever quite meld together very well. But even putting all that aside, it's also just not a very funny movie. Here and there it is, but mostly I think the characters are pretty flat and just uninteresting. I thought the cast did fine. It was just they weren't given much material to work with. But if I had my biggest complaint would just be it's not that funny. And if you tried to reach beyond that into actually having some story or horror, it never really gets there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it almost seems like it would have worked better had they just stuck with, like you're saying, the first 20-minute concept of just kind of growing up in that time period and the mass hysteria that actually grew around the idea of Y2K. And not show it, but just have people like lose their shit while these kids are just kind of doing their coming of age stuff. But instead, it all falls apart as soon as they leave the party, I feel like. And
I see a lot of people complaining online. Like one of the biggest complaints I see is like, this movie was released 25 years too late. And I think that's the dumbest thing I've heard because it was such a bizarre time. It's the turn of the millennium. There was all this concern about this thing that could go wrong. I actually love the premise of this movie. I feel like you could do something really fun with that.
Well, here's my thing. You guys say like it loses you after the party. It kind of lost me too, but toward the end, it started embracing how like cheesy and weird like hacker movies were in the 90s, and I felt like it waited way too late to do that. So she literally is hacking and just saying stuff that doesn't make any sense, and it goes into the computer, and the computer looks like a city, and I'm like, oh, that's like the movie Hackers. And I also revisited both Lawnmower Mans this year. So at the end, when the AI has like a avatar on screen and it just looks like the Lawnmower Man, but like a foul mouth Lawnmower Man CGI face, like I'm like, wait, I like all of this stuff. You guys were good in the beginning, and then you kind of got away from this and just did like scary killer robots, and then you waited so long to go into this goofy route. I feel like you had to do the goofy stuff just a little bit earlier. So yeah, it is.
Or not at all. That's where I think Gil's right with the totally
or not at all.
Pick a direction.
Yeah, right. Pick a lane.
But you're right. It was a little tonally inconsistent. The Fred Durst thing could have been a little funnier.
I feel like they just saw Zombieland and they were like, it's really funny if you get an actor or celebrity cameo in there.
Yes.
I was shocked that they killed the friend early on and then he just stayed dead. I was waiting for him to come back as a zombie or something, or not a zombie, but like a robot, and it just never happened. But
I feel like that was a mistake because then the guy you're left with has so much less personality and sense of humor than him.
He sucked so bad, and I like that guy in It. He fit that character very well as just the kind of likable, lead. Oh, he was miserable here.
So generic.
Crystal, to paint a picture, Shaun of the Dead, right? Remember Shaun of the Dead? Imagine if Ed just died 30 minutes in.
Oh, no.
That's kind of what they did with this movie. It's like, oh.
You don't do that.
I'm like, oh, you killed the funniest guy right away? I'm like, would have kept him around just a little while longer.
Although Jesse Eisenberg was far more likable and fun than the lead in Y2K.
Yes. I'd agree with that.
Yes.
I want to know, does anyone else's soul hurt knowing it was 25 years ago that this happened? How?
Yeah. Crystal, I got super nostalgic when the movie opens with just a computer screen with AOL Instant Messenger. And I'm like, oh, wow, I still know how all of that works. And I'm like, and I haven't used it in a very long
EXO,
time.
whatever, BRB,
oh my God, yeah.
gonna go cry
in
in music lyrics.
I'm like, away messages.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh no.
Crystal, you'll feel so miserable watching the movie because when they get to that party scene and they show the different factions of people and how they're listening to music and just interacting, it's seriously like you're looking at aliens. It seems so foreign and in the bowels of history. It's crazy.
I felt like that when I watched Time Cut a little bit. And I feel like this has more, from what you guys are saying, it feels like this has more references.
Way better. This is way better than that.
Visually, this seems more accurate than that movie. I've seen a couple clips of that movie. This feels more like it. I mean, a little bit exaggerated, but still accurate. Yeah, it's funny because we don't actually get a lot of like 90s and 2000s nostalgia. Everyone's always, I feel like we've been doing 80s nostalgia since the 80s ended, apparently. So it's funny that now we're getting older. It's like, oh, stuff from our youth is now nostalgic and going to be looked back on. And to
but
our
like
credit, the 90s and 2000s, we all looked like assholes, so it's fine. I had frosted tips. We all did it. We all dyed our hair a horrible color. I owned that hat. I don't even like the Yankees. I owned it because Fred Durst had it. And then I went and saw the first Fast and Furious wearing that hat. So that movie got me there. But
well, I was at the bowling alley the other day and hearing music. I'm like, damn, like my sister and cousin, we were like jamming. We're like, yeah, they're playing all those hits. And then all of a sudden we're like, shit. It was all from like, it was like Backstreet Boys and stuff like that. And we're like, is this what we felt like when we were going to the bowling alley when we were tiny? Like
Yeah.
I can't function anymore. I'm just like, no, no.
The thing that killed me was seeing them in Blockbuster in the video store. Like I missed that so much.
it
And I
wasn't
think
even Blockbuster. It was a mom and pop one.
Yeah, it was a
Oh,
mom.
God.
Yeah.
I think like the dumbest thing I ever said was like 20 years ago in high school. We were talking about a study that said the more choices people have, the less happy they are. And I'm like, that's stupid. It's more freedom. And now I'm older and like I sit down to watch a movie and I'll start one and be like, no, I could probably find a better one. And I skip around between 50 different movies.
Take
Same
a
thing
look
with
around.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Same thing with video games. Like if you rented a bad game, like you played it because you're like, that's the game I have for this weekend. But now with emulators and everything, you could download every Nintendo game ever made in about 2 minutes. And then you're like, whatever game I play, I can probably find a better one. I just can't commit. Back in the day,
Back in my day, you had to wait 5 full minutes for one piece of porn to download to your computer, and now it's like, oh, boom, 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 boom. What am I looking at now? Not that I don't do that. You know, I'm just looking for wood at the end of
My
the
version of
day.
that's so much lamer. I remember
Yeah.
downloading Donkey Kong Country 3, the ROM, and it took all day. I remember we had like I was hooked up into the modem, and throughout the day, like every couple hours, I'd run upstairs and like get on the floor and like check. I'm like, all right, we're halfway there.
Oh my god, LimeWire! How many freaking viruses did I
God,
get?
killed
It
2
wasn't just
computers
like,
with LimeWire.
yeah, was it porn? Was it LimeWire? I don't know. Funny thing is, I actually downloaded Wicked, too, FYI, bootleg version of Wicked, the musical Broadway, and now it's out. So,
Nice.
but it is like we lose what we're grateful for. Like we
Yeah.
forget
Man, I
to be
used to-
grateful for things,
I
and
used
that's
to
what it
torrent-
is.
I used to torrent so many episodes of Mystery Science Theater because they had stopped replaying them. And now they're just all free on YouTube. Like, they just don't take them down. I'm like, man, I used to literally, like what you said, Gil, I'd spend 2 days downloading one episode of Mystery Science Theater that I just wanted to rewatch. So, yeah, man, that takes me back. All right. That's the end of the movies. Let's talk to 2 of our patrons. We got a bunch of super chats to get through. Thank you so much. Holy shit, Mint.
Don't we usually break up the super chats like throughout the episode?
But I forgot to do that, and I looked, and we had a lot, so I just.
I was gonna say something, but I was like, "Nah, he's got
Don't worry about it." Well, I thought we do it at the midpoint, and I think that was supposed to be after I Used to Be Funny, but then no one watched it because I guess you all hate women. All right, next up we have Max. Hello, Max.
Hey guys, how's it going?
It's going great. How you doing?
Pretty good, pretty good. I'm amazed that you managed to thread the needle and not have a single movie that I watched this year on the list.
Don't worry, I wouldn't have seen any of them either.
The pulse of what all the kids are watching these days.
We've all been trying to figure out the algorithm Tony uses to pick the movies.
Why don't you
It's
just put a
literally-
poll on
it's literally-
Patreon? Jesus Christ, dude.
It's literally. Oh, actually, that makes a lot of sense. I probably should have asked
That's a good
fans
idea.
what movies did I miss that you want to see.
Jesus Christ,
What movies did I
Tony.
miss? Oh my god.
Instead of me being like, "Oh, that looks interesting," a bunch
Vote
of
for
priests.
the yearly wrap-up time. Be a Patreon and get to
drive-
be involved.
Drive to your fucking local movie theater and just walk up and down and see the posters that are out and put those on the list.
Adam,
Dipshit.
whenever I do that, I go up and down the movie theater and I go, "Oh, those all look like shit." Like, I don't wanna watch
I
any-
saw the TV Globe. There were posters for that, at least in Manhattan.
That's
Posters
true.
everywhere.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, no, that makes Gil. What you just said, I'm like, hey, that makes sense that you saw posters there.
Tony, I'm going to take a quick bathroom break. Just
What
wanted
if
to
Max
announce
has
that. to
something
everybody.
you want to say?
Thanks for letting us know.
He already said he
Well,
hasn't
I
seen
want
any
to
of the movies.
thank you for bringing up Lord of the Rings, which I did
Oh.
see.
I'll
I had
stay
a
for
choice
this.
between that and Y2K. I went with Lord of the Rings because I figured you usually cover those on the channel. It was a safe bet.
I
But,
will
you
be
know.
doing. We will do a live like best animated Lord of the Rings at
All
some
right.
point.
Did
Wait,
you like
Max,
it, Max?
You
Did
should switch over, hack the movies, leave it, go to
Yeah.
one take. We did a whole
Oh.
2-hour episode on
Oh,
Lord of the Rings, War of the Rohirrim.
all right.
But
Cut
Gil,
the
what if
cord,
he does-
Max. Head on over to Adam Does Movies. I reviewed it. I didn't
I was
care
gonna
for it, but it's there.
I was
yeah.
gonna say, Gil, what if he doesn't have 2 hours? Does anyone have a shorter review? Well, was it good, Max? Do I need to see it?
It was all right. I like what he said. There was a pretty hilarious, unnecessary self-sacrifice, which just made you kind of question everything else. I did notice it was actually written by somebody who starred as like a random hobbit in the Return of the King, and somebody who played some other
See you in a bit, babe.
background person in
His
the.
mic is on.
Oh, perfect. He's. Oh my
Sorry,
god.
Gil was saying bye to his girlfriend. Hey,
No,
where
it's all right. Nothing much. Just that. Yeah, it was all right. It was all right. I wouldn't say it's urgent. Some interesting nods to the Bakshi movies, which was kind of cool to see that
cool.
in terms of the style of animation and stuff.
That's why I wanted to wait to cover all the animated ones because people love the Bakshi ones and that other one. So I thought it'd be fun to do that.
Yeah.
Also, it was a way for Johanna to talk about Return of the King. She was in the first 2 Lord of the Rings movies, and then she got like COVID right when we're about to do Return of the King.
Right. Well, yeah, thanks. A lot of little Christmas. I put on this hat when I realized I hadn't seen any of the movies. I thought that would make up for bring a little cheer into the equation.
By the way, did anyone tune in to my 4-hour live stream of me playing a Nintendo Switch Grinch game the other night?
I did.
Okay,
Yikes.
I ate some normal candy and I thought that'd be a good idea. I wore this Grinch thing for 4 hours. Fun fact. I've only ever worn this for a few minutes at a time. The next day, my eye was completely broken out. Something on this mask irritated the shit out of me. So I had to it was a bad time. And I'm like, it was Chris. Actually, it was
I was
Christmas.
gonna say it's Christmas.
I'm at like Christmas dinner and I'm like this the whole time. I'm like, I have to go. I need to go and put cream on my face.
But everyone was probably like, Tony, your face looks normal.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a great stream. Johanna showed up drunk. That was awesome. She was being
Yeah,
mean.
Johanna, Johanna texted me. I didn't even realize it. Texted me the stream, the link.
You know who came back on that stream? Pedro, and he's dead. He came back from hell to be on that stream. Max, what was your favorite movie of the year? Before we go?
Somebody mentioned it in the comments. I think in the theater it was probably Strange Darlings. Did any of you guys see that movie?
Great movie.
I didn't see
That was
one.
pretty cool.
Awesome
Yeah.
movie. Yep.
Cool,
Yeah.
good movie. We should have reviewed. Got it.
I don't
Yeah,
think it was
would've been
streaming
nice.
free. I tried to make sure they were all streaming free. Well,
So
not
the last
free,
2 in
but you know what I mean.
theaters.
Yeah.
Did you see The Substance? That's another one that I thought was
I did.
fantastic.
That was shocking.
Yeah.
Like to see that just in a
Substance was
normal
great.
theater. People were
Yeah.
freaking out. The theater I saw it in. I don't think I've ever seen anything that grotesque like in the movie
Yeah.
theater.
Yeah,
But it was
that a
pretty
good time.
cool. Yeah, it was pretty cool. And Nosferatu, I just picked up, but I won't say too much about that.
You don't want to
Uh,
piss Adam off. Hold on.
Well,
Hey,
I
Gil.
actually don't care if people have opposite views as me, unlike some of the crybabies
mustache,
that watch
that-
my videos.
We have a similar opinion on the mustache. Let's just leave it at that.
Mustache.
We'll leave it at that. Yeah.
Real quick,
I think everyone did.
Gil,
Yes.
Gil, how is Babe doing?
Oh, she is fantastic. She's just such a big fan of you. I wanted to keep the mic on so she could say hello.
Yeah.
And then you muted me, so I couldn't, you know?
I'm like, I didn't want you to be like, yeah, thanks, babe. And then be like, hey, did you kill that guy? I don't know what you're gonna say to her.
You know,
Thanks, babe.
I
Soon the world
abandoned
will know
her.
about you.
We went out to
As a
dinner
doll.
earlier, and we were going to get tiramisu, and I was like, I can't. I have the live stream. And she's like, you're hanging out with that Tony boy again? I turned down tiramisu to be here.
That Terry boy or Tony boy, did she really say that? Like an old
Maybe, I
timey.
don't know.
I would not have skipped tiramisu for Tony.
Does she not like me because we were like, hey, let's hang out, and it was my dive bar full of cigarette smoke? That was probably not the best first introduction.
Hey Max, one question about the Rohirrim that I seriously almost stood up and yelled like, "Are you kidding me?" There's a scene in the movie at Helm's Deep where a prominent character is held at knife point. There are archers all over this place pointed at him. I'm not going to spoil what happens, but let's just say the villain is open for shots and no one does a thing about it. Instead, they're like, no, and then the villain just casually leaves. I'm like, I've seen the Lord of the Rings Two Towers. A lot of times they can hit people from that distance. This is insane. Thoughts? Thoughts? Were you upset?
It was fairly upsetting. I mean, there were a couple of things in that movie that were just a little surprising, like the introduction of that strange monster, who happened to look like Helm, the King Helm.
Yeah.
It just came in for no reason at one point. That one was what stayed with me afterwards. Without getting too much into it, because you guys didn't talk about it, I don't know if I remember the that part you're talking about as well. But
it's a pivotal scene with the.
I remember
that. It's a pivotal scene.
And knowing how soft and squishy that family's heads are, if they had just breathed in his direction in the wrong way, he would have dropped dead.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Okay, that guy. Yeah.
Max, what was the worst movie you saw this year?
Wow. Oh man, I'm a big fan of found footage movies. So when you're scrambling around in that world, that's just a race to the bottom. I think that that's a toughie, man. I wish you'd. I think in theaters, I'm maybe a difference to you guys. I wasn't huge on like adding all this lore to the Terrifier franchise. I'm like, I didn't hate it so much, but like I thought I kind of wanted it to stay in that just straight up slasher kind of, like I didn't need to know too much about his backstory. Felt that took a bit away from that movie to me, but it might have been a bit of a disappointment. But
no, I agree. I think the lore stuff's kind of silly. I prefer when he's just an unknown entity that's psychotic.
I'd say like
Keep
the first
it simple.
Movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I can't think of the movie offhand. Get back to you.
I will say probably the most disappointing film of all year was Unfrosted, starring Jerry Seinfeld, which me and Adam reviewed.
That was this year. That felt so long ago. Oh my god.
The movie that pissed me off the most, Crystal, you were there for it. Mean Girls, the musical. That was secretly a musical.
God.
That movie sucked. That was this year.
That was the worst.
That was January.
What? That's crazy.
It was.
No.
All
right, Max. Well, thanks for stopping by, and thank you for being a patron.
My pleasure.
You're my best friend.
Okay.
I look forward to your many comments over on the One Take channel, Max. Nice to meet you.
Did you guys know Taco Bell apparently, I'm looking up food. Taco Bell now has chicken nuggets.
Sorry we've bored you with the conversation.
I'm really hungry.
Put her back to the bottom, Tony.
Max, you're replacing Crystal for the rest of the stream now.
No, but for real. Oh, I'm not last. What the fuck just happened?
Kill your last.
But for real. Literally, I have to say something. Taco Bell with chicken nuggets.
That's
not
weird
okay.
and unnatural. No.
I don't like this. Chicken nuggets. Like, I'm not lying. Like,
well,
not okay.
You were doing like chicken fries. How much different is it? They
no.
just shape the chicken differently. Like, what the fuck?
No.
Lucha Steve, how are you? You're apparently sick. What is going on right now? Did you kill Joey C? We can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Okay. I feel like complete crap. I think I just have a really bad flu. Joey C sounds like he has like stomach issues. I don't have that yet.
Wait. So you're really sick, and you thought, you know what? Let me put a mask on, even though I can't breathe, and sit in.
Well, he doesn't want to contract it. He's being responsible. He's mask up.
I got nose and mouth holes, so I'm fine.
So instead of sleeping, you're like, nah, I can't miss the live episode.
Well, so unlike Joey C, I literally pay to be here, and I'll be damned.
He pays.
Yeah.
He pays.
I appreciate your patronage. I think that's the word.
I'll be damned if I let my $10 go to waste.
What movies did you see on the list?
So I actually saw a good bit of them.
Okay.
I saw Winnie the Pooh, Monkey Man. I saw the TV Glow, Oddity, and Transformers 1.
You didn't see I Used to Be Funny, so I still can't really review it.
I might watch it now because I like Rachel said it. So
real quick, I saw the TV Glow. You're really happy I put it on the list, right? You're not mad.
Actually, yes, I am.
Okay.
I felt really sad because that's like literally in my top 10 movies this year, and I think it's a very beautiful movie. And this whole time, you guys have been like, Tony, why would you put a piece of shit like that in the list? And I'm just
guys,
like,
how dare you make fun of Lucha Steve's favorite movie?
I didn't see the movie. I didn't see it.
Yeah, Adam,
all right.
Adam, you're good until I watch Nosferatu.
Did you feel like the TV Glows? Did you feel like it got better as the movie went on? because within, like I said, like an hour and 10, I was kind of stuck, and I don't know if it's because I had expectations of
So-
something more exciting.
I told my friend this. I feel like I cheated because I knew about the trans allegory going in. So I was like very
Oh.
interested to see like how it connected to the overall plot, and then I watched it with a trans person, so I got to discuss it with them and kind of get their point of view, and so I think that really helped me like really enjoy the movie. Like,
But did your
the-
trans friend know that it was about that
yes,
going in? Okay, so I'm curious to know if you guys didn't know that that's what it was
no,
about.
we
How
both-
would
we
you have
both-
felt?
we both cheated.
Yeah. Well, if you didn't cheat, would you think? Do you think you would have felt the same way?
That was one of the things I discussed with her is both would I have liked this movie if I didn't know that, and would I have picked up on it. I feel like I would have picked up on it. Liking it. I like a lot of weird stuff, so
So do
as
I.
long
That's why I thought I'd enjoy it more, and I just thought it was like.
I like 90s nostalgia. I'm a huge Buffy fan, and so just kind of the fact that it was like seemingly like talking about that nostalgia. If you could hear the dog, I'm so sorry.
I can hear the dog. I wanted to make sure it was a dog and not like a squeaky.
It's a
How
goddamn
dare you leave
claw.
your mic unmuted and allow sounds to?
It's my roommate's chihuahua. I hate it. But
yeah,
I
I'm so
really don't know, because I think why I like the movie so much was because of the symbolism of it. So
Yeah,
I
I didn't
don't-
know what it was about until this review, until
Yeah.
Tony said during this review what it was about, and I was just like, oh, that's actually like
there's a lot of like obvious symbolism, like when he's in the parachute thing, it's like the trans flag color. God
Mhm.
damn it!
oh, it is,
It's in the
I
trans
was
flag
wondering.
colors.
motherfucker.
There's
You're
like
right.
there's a recurring towards the end, as Justice Smith is like kind of monologuing about like, yeah, I'm happy. This is what I wanted. There's like on the chalk it says like this, it says it's not too late, which is like a common thing with trans people, is
all I
that
keep thinking
they think
now
it's too
is
late.
all I keep thinking now is I just want to see Adam review this just to see what title he comes up with. That's all that's playing in my head right now.
I watched the TV Blow, would maybe be one of them, but
I
no.
nah the
That's all I
TV glow.
want. That's all I want. Well, I'm glad you liked it. What was the best movie this year? What do you think?
The Substance, definitely.
Really?
Good.
Yes, yes.
It was Dune for most of the year, and then I watched The Substance, and I was like, holy shit, this is like fucking awesome. I actually think it's funny that for this year included, the last 3 years, my favorite movies have all been about women's issues. So it's The Substance.
Wait, you're a Hack the Movies fan? How is that possible?
I
I
know.
thought it was funny. So it's The Substance this year, Poor Things last year, and then the year before was Everything Everywhere All at Once.
That was
Wait,
so good.
That was my movie 2 years ago too. Yeah.
Wait, I did
It's
love
so
in the
good.
Discord during Transformers 1 because I was like watching it live. Like Optimus's superior is the lady robot, and I went in there. I'm like, Optimus' boss is the lady robot, not my Transformers. And then 5 minutes later, I'm like, wait, they just fired her and made her a janitor. This is the 10 out of 10 movie. I love it.
I was waiting for you to come back and be like, "Oh, never mind, it's woke again." He made
It
her like
really was. I was
he-
like,
he
I
made
had
her
a joke
fucking a
lined
command.
up, but since I didn't watch the movie, I didn't know. I'm like, oh wait, it backfired on me.
What a roller coaster of emotions for
Then-
you.
and then
You're
at the
right there,
end he makes-
Tony.
and then at the end, he makes her the second in command. So it's woke again.
That's true. What was the worst movie you watched this year?
Can I go? Can I do my top 5?
Yeah, do your top 5, sure.
Okay, so this is from my least hated to it's they get progressively worse.
Okay.
Okay.
So my top 5 is Winnie the Pooh 2. Just missed it because I watched Craven this week. Craven. I watched it by myself, so I had no one to joke with.
So did I.
Yeah.
I watched it. I
So
wish I could have been with anyone watching
Craven?
that shit.
The Crow remake,
Oh yeah, so
Lit?
good. Mm.
Unfrosted, which I thought would be unbeatable until I watched The Mousetrap.
Oh, I didn't see the Mousetrap.
What's that?
That's one of the Steamboat Willie movies they're
Yeah,
making.
it's
the other one is going to be
it's
Scream.
the
That's
first
right.
one.
That's
Yeah.
not that has no affiliation with the Poohverse guys, Tony. Come on. Come on
No.
now.
The Screamboat guys are the dudes who did the Mean Grinch movie, and
Oh,
the Terrifier
okay.
dude I think is playing Mickey in it. So
And this one was it it's like, so the kills suck, which is just like, at least if you're going to be a shitty, like with Winnie the Pooh too,
Yeah.
at least like, oh cool, there's blood and people are getting their heads ripped off. Okay. But this one, it's like most of the kills are off screen, or there's no blood. It's literally just the guy in a Mickey Mouse mask. It's not even Mickey Mouse at all. It's just the guy wearing a Mickey Mouse mask. So it's like, you didn't even do the thing you're supposed to do. And
Does he whistle? Does he whistle?
I don't remember.
That's like
But
his
is it
only
so-
character trait.
Is it so bad it's good? Like worth watching so
not at all.
A
bad?
lot of these aren't, Crystal. A lot.
No,
of
it
these
was-
I love
aren't.
so bad that they're like
Yeah.
fine.
It was complete waste of time.
Oh, you know who's in? Hold on, Crystal. You know who's in Screamboat? Joe DeRosa. I saw him on the cast. I'm like, what the fuck? He's
That's
on
my
show.
friend.
He didn't
Yeah,
mention it once.
you're once again, you're welcome.
Don't blame me. for
You're
that.
welcome because
least-
he's my friend for like 10 years.
At least
Ugh.
Screamboat was like on a boat, so it's like, okay, you got something.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
just, when you said the movie was a complete waste of time, I was like, oh, why wasn't that on our list for this screen?
Look, you know what? You know what? I
Yes!
did see it when I was going through stuff, and I'm like, Winnie the Pooh is already on there. Let me not do two for that. I'll be nice. I'll only put one really
made a good
goofy
choice.
children horror thing on there.
You made a good choice. I watched them the same day. So
That's funny.
Although since no one except the guy who threw up and left the show watched I Used to Be Funny, I should have put it on. Maybe two people would have watched it. But yes, Lucius Steve, thank you for coming by.
bye everybody. and a
Best
happy
paid
New
See ya.
Year.
Feel
Bye,
better.
Better.
See you later. All right, let's go. Actually, before we do super chats, let's do some plugs. Adam, what do you got?
Does
coming
no one
up?
else want to actually talk to us? Just two people?
Yeah, apparently.
Well, that's
We
fine.
have a bunch of $10 patrons. Just not some of them are capped.
And I'm one of them, so I'm already taking up a slot.
Adam, what do you
I
got?
refuse to
coming
pay.
Oh, Tony, you know, I'm always moving and grooving over on the channel. Adam Does Movies. Put out that beautiful Nosferatu, Voice of the People review, certified Rotten Tomato critic. I have my best top 10 of 2024 coming up. I got my worst top 10 of 2024, and I'll probably do most disappointing, maybe biggest surprises. There's a lot of options here before that, that ball drops. But we'll see what I get to. There's some fun stuff, though, so definitely check it out. Adam Does
Yeah.
Movies.
And you have a couple more days to watch I Saw the TV Glow and put it on the list.
Yeah, I plan on doing that for sure. Yep.
Crystal, where can we find you? Where do you live? Where can I send fans? Where can they mail you stuff at your work? Where can they find you?
No, thank you. Social media.
Really narrowed it down there.
Social media, and I'm on Hack the Movies.
You can find me on a tall tower somewhere contemplating my life. But as for now, I guess follow me
No,
on the
you'll
gram.
see me on the
Yeah.
beach living my best life.
There you go.
You could do
Which
that.
beach?
There
Maybe
you
our
go.
fans want to go to the beach and say hi.
Fort
Give them the
Lauderdale.
time, give them the location. Yeah.
Meet up. We go swimming.
You know what's funny?
Um,
A guy
yeah.
recognized me outside of Target. He went like, "Wow, world famous Tony!" I'm like, "Hey, what's up?" He's like, "Nice to see you." And then he just walked in without like wanting a picture or anything. And I'm like, "Huh." I'm like, that guy was in a rush. And then he left me a comment. He's like, "Hey, I just saw you outside of Target. Sorry I couldn't talk. I really had to piss." I'm like, "Oh, okay, that makes up for it.
Understood.
Thanks."
That's funny. But no, I'm just, Florida, just Floridaing it up. Twitter/X, Instagram. I don't know. I would like to stream more now that I'm
Well-
getting used to my life down here.
Do it.
Oh my God. Thanks.
All right, Gil, what
Yeah,
do
I
you got
will.
coming up?
Right now, I am figuring out the schedule for One Take next year. A lot of big stuff coming, but in the meantime, I've begun a new project to
Ooh.
rank every movie ever created. So each video, I recap a movie. As I go, there's a rank-o-meter that appears on screen and increases or decreases. By the end of each episode, you get a precise score down to 3 decimals. No two movies ever get the same score, so you can force rank them all. So youtube.com/@everymovieranked. So far, we've gotten through 6 movies, only
You're on a-
you're on a
10,000 to go.
Just a few to go. And what portion of those movies has Fred Durst in them? We had 100, ban 100 right now? 1,000? Ban 1,000?
Well, I can't have if I pick a movie with Fred Durst, it's immediately going to be 100%, and it'll ruin the whole game of trying to find the best movie.
The whole thing's ruined.
Yeah, it'll mess up the whole curve.
Yes, none of them can have the same score, and all of a sudden, every single Fred Durst is only 100. Yeah, this is it.
It adds up. Super chats, Tony, at some point. Supers?
Yeah, let's do them now. Let me get the Twitch ones out of the way because I always forget them. But Aussie Dragoon.
You just want to speed through the people that gave you money. Wow.
What?
Asshole.
Aussie Dragoon? No, because I always forget because there's never as much as you.
No, you're like, yeah, let's just go ahead and do the super chats before we end. Like
Aussie Dragoon for 5 bits says, hear that, Tiny? Adam says you should cover more Harry Potter. He called me Tiny. Aussie Dragoon again for 10 bits. Crystal can't go into a nunnery. That's way too many fathers to forgive. She can't.
That's good.
Aussie
That's
Dragoon
good.
for 50. That was a fucking banger.
That's a good one.
Cheered 15 bits. Tony needs frosted tips again. Hell no. And then Aussie Dragoon again. That Tony boy is nothing but trouble, Gilliam. He only wants to do the pot and cavort with sinful women. I believe that is him pretending to be your girlfriend yelling about me.
That boy, Tony. Yeah, that Tony boy. You stay away from that one. He's
captured
a bad
her voice perfectly.
Yeah. Okay, so our first 2 super chats are from Pico. We've been calling him Psycho Jet Black, but Horror Channel realized that he was missing an S in his name.
Yep.
He left 2 super chats last night as soon as I scheduled the stream.
That's awesome.
I support Hack the Movies charity, the Tony's Hair Plug Surgery Fund. He really needs your help. Help.
Can you not? I'm sorry. Can you not feature these on the You
no, because they're so old. So the first 2 I just have to read.
I got you.
He really needs your help. He can get to find a woman. # support Tony's hair plugs. Are they all going to be hair plug ones again? Okay. Everyone on the panel, do you think Tony is a brave young man to get the hair plug surgery that he needs in order to be a happy person? # hero, # love.
I reject the premise that you're not already a very happy person.
I second that. I think you're brave every day you show your face on camera. Put yourself out there. It takes a real person of high caliber to do that, Tony.
Okay. Well, Pico Jet Black again for $5. Let's see if this one's hair plug related. Tony's round roly-poly figure. You know, I looked at myself in the mirror today after a year of working out. I'm like, wow. I still have some work to go, but I feel really good. And then I read this guy's chat for money. Tony's round roly-poly figure, giant head, and puffy eyes really brings joy to all the panel members. # support Tony. # love. # hero. # lay off the pastrami. I'm going to fucking ban him. All right,
yeah.
AJ Wizzle. Oh, he's great.
Just really brought down the entire stream. Thanks.
Tony, as you are the Tim Pool of movie reviewers, absolutely not. Where can we go to pay money for you to say things? And Merry Christmas from your UK chapter. Wow. This is the only place you can get me to pay things. If you're trying to get me to manipulate news or sway elections, we got to talk about that off stream. Billie Jean for $2. Tony, you promised you wouldn't take her back. I don't think that's the real Billie Jean. I think that's AJ Wizzle as a character. Lenny Laserdisc for $9.99. Hey, Tony, I just earned my bachelor's this past week. I wanted to thank you for all the content you make because it got me through a lot of assignments. Have a hacky new year. Huh.
Tony, at first I was thinking this was going to be like that Toll Booth Willie skit from Adam Sandler back in the day where some of these comments start out nice, but then they're also like, go fuck yourself, Tony. You suck, you piece of crap. Like, oh my God, is there a nice comment in here? But
wait,
no, this was nice.
Me filming myself and friends talk about movies helped this guy finish college.
Yeah.
But me filming myself talking about friends about movies is one of the reasons I did really poorly in college because I didn't really pay attention and then I dropped out. So at least it worked for someone.
It's funny how things change. Life's weird like that.
He stole your degree, Lenny Laserdiscs.
And then ASC Presents, which is Mint Salad and the free Young Clippa. He is free for now.
What happened? Yeah, he's free.
The judge, the judge kind of threw it out. They have to come back with a different thing. They gifted 20 Hack the Movies memberships and then came back and gifted 50 Hack the Movies memberships.
Wow.
Tis the season.
Christmas miracle.
And they can afford to do it now since he isn't going to be thrown in jail. A Hack ASC presents for $5. Merry Christmas to the Hack the Movies panel and the chat from Mint and.
Oh, so you're going to be sharing.
Merry
You're going to be
Christmas.
sharing these super chatted gifts, right? Since she's thanking the whole panel for bringing in the new year.
We'll talk.
Okay.
Anyway, Rubiat
No.
M. Amin for $5 Canada dollars. Tony's worst nightmare: Johanna and Crystal doing the fusion dance from Dragon Ball Z into one perfect woman.
Can we fusion, Tony?
Oh, no, we have
No,
to
you're on the wrong way.
When I
wait,
say
I
fusion,
feel
I
this way.
think of
Whoa!
Does anyone else ever seen? Oh my gosh, the cartoon. With
Dragon Ball Z.
the gens.
My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. Yes, I celebrate the entire catalog.
Oh, Steven Universe. Don't
Yes,
confuse
thank
that.
you.
Oh,
I don't watch
Okay,
that.
no.
That's what I think of fusion. No one. Okay,
No.
Sorry. My
Michael
kids watch it. They said it's really good.
it's actually really, really good.
Okay.
Michael for $1.99. Great. Another follow-up to his one review.
I think that came in during the Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 2. I don't know if maybe Gil only reviewed
possibly.
that movie on his channel or something. I'm not sure
Huh.
who he's referring to.
Yeah, I get crap for that all the time. Everyone wants
you?
to follow up. No, not really.
Oh, okay.
Pico Jet Black for $2. Jolly Ollie Tony brings joy to all. Hashtag thick waistline. Why are you paying just to make fun of me?
He almost got there.
Remember how we were waxing poetic about how great the late 90s were? This didn't happen in the 90s. Nobody was
No.
doing that.
No, they said it to your face.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they just say
exactly.
it to your face. Panel say from Pico Jet Black. Panel say something nice to Roly Poly Tony, his thick jolly waistline, and that other thing he doesn't know about. Tony the Italian Roseanne Barr. What the fuck?
Tony,
That's
Tony,
Okay.
I think you are a proud enough man to not have to read these garbage super chats anymore. If you need a couple bucks, I'll give you a couple bucks, but let's just get rid of this clown. I mean, it's past its humor, if it ever was funny.
When you really put it all into perspective, it's like for $2, he's reading insults about himself. I never really
I know,
thought
it's
about
like
it.
this is where we're at in life, Tony. We gotta keep knocking yourself down for a few bucks, like a trickster on the street.
Yes, he does.
Okay.
He'll do
Adam,
anything for $1.
I once drove a broken truck for a shady municipal supply company that I think was ripping off nursing homes.
Hmm.
This is so much better and pays way better than that. So I'm just gonna keep doing it.
All right. If you're fine with it, I'm fine with it.
Michael for $4.99. Which public domain or currently 30 to 40s character should get a horror treatment? Mine would be the horrifying Charlie Chaplin and Buster Keaton films. Huh?
That would be. Ooh.
Public domain. Oh, what the? Oh,
Oh.
a cat just attacked her. Oh God.
It's the
Felix
same-
the
I was
cat.
going-
I
It
want
looked like your
horror
shirt came
Felix
alive.
the cat. I want horror.
I've been gone for 6 days, so he's very, very upset.
I don't know all the public domain characters.
Let's see.
What do you guys?
Charlie
think?
Chaplin would be fucking awesome.
As a horror character,
Yes.
silently
I think
taking guys out.
Superman
Oh, yeah.
is going to be public domain very soon. You could do a good horror for that. They've already done that though, with like a horror take
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
a superhero. Just
Yeah,
kills
what was that
people.
movie a few years
Oh,
back?
Brightburn.
Brightburn. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was all right. It was okay.
All right, the Hobbit is going to be public domain in like 6 or 7
Ooh.
years.
Really?
Oh, that's gonna
Shit.
be fun.
Sam.
We've
Sam,
forgotten.
put down the axe, Sam.
Please,
Guys.
no.
That was my Frodo. Sorry.
Guys,
that was good.
the comic character, the Green Llama from 1940. I think.
Oh, Green
I think
Mama.
he'll be public domain any day now.
That's one of my favorites.
What about the Grinch? Oh, you already did that one. You did that horror Grinch movie.
Well, that was a
everybody
parody.
saw.
They got
Everybody
around
saw.
it. They never call him the Grinch. They're cute about it. But no, I think he's 50s. The Grinch. So
okay.
we still got some time.
Okay.
Okay. Brian Davis, Tony, have you considered using AI integrated streaming platform that makes your head look proportional to your body
There
and
it is.
surroundings? You know, there
There it
was
is.
a new name, and I'm like, well, Brian Davis, he seems like a nice guy.
He is a
Even though
nice
his-
guy,
Even though
actually.
his profile
he likes
picture
to,
is a
yeah.
murderer. But thank you.
He
He's
can't
a big,
afford it
he's a big,
monthly.
he's a very nice guy. He likes to do the trolls from time to time.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
But yeah, Tony can't afford the AI integrated program at the moment.
Jimbo for $5. Tony, when are you and Adam hosting an event at the Mahoning Drive-In? Congrats on 65K. Oh yeah, we hit 65,000 subscribers. You know what? I always thought about hosting a Mahoning Drive-In event. I probably should talk to those guys and figure out how I can do it. I know Movie Dumpster did it once, I think.
I don't know what Mahoney Drive-In is. Sorry.
It's a really, really awesome drive-in.
It's a big drive-in we go to during the summer. We do a lot of events there, like VHS
I think it's
Fest.
the oldest one that still does 35 millimeter films.
Yeah.
Oh,
Aussie-
cool.
It's really fucking awesome.
Yeah.
It's where we go for VHS Fest.
Yeah.
The owners are amazing.
Nice.
Aussie
Yeah,
Dragoon
it's really
for
cool.
$5. Where is official Joey C? This wrap-up is 78% less manly by default without him.
He's hugging the side of a toilet right now, praying to the only pagan god he knows.
Pico Jet Black for $2. Crystal, do you have any dating advice for Jolly Tony?
That was the nicest one he's given.
Don't date.
Oh.
You know what's funny? So I told Crystal
Oh, don't tell people that you live in your dad's basement and that you're a YouTuber.
I told Crystal that
All the
I deleted all my dating apps, and not because the person I was seeing last stream it worked out. It actually did not work out. But the only one I have left is Facebook dating. And today it left me a message saying like, "Hey, we found someone who would be a great match for you." And I open it up, and literally the first line is "women only." So Facebook thought that a lesbian would be a perfect match for me.
Well, you look like a lesbian, Tony.
You could convert.
Like
You could convert her. You're like the
Maybe I
reverse
can.
George Costanza.
I love that. Also, Facebook dating, they do a thing where you can send a crush to someone who's on your friends' list.
Oh.
And
God.
it's almost always the person they're recommending. Their profile picture is like them with their husband and their kids. I'm like, I feel like I'm going to get in a lot of trouble if I send that stranger that I have a crush on them. What are you trying to do to me, Facebook? Anyway.
I think, Tony, best dating advice I ever got was sunglasses emojis.
Yeah, fuck
Every
off with
text.
the sunglasses emoji.
As many as you can fit.
No, that's two right now. The sunglasses emoji. Your brother's on my shit list.
Tony, it's actually really not that hard. It's you just kind of got to be like a decent human. Just saying, it's really not that hard.
That's why Crystal said don't
that doesn't
date.
make any sense.
Like, it's
Okay.
really not that hard.
Kiryu Pilot 379 for 199. War for the Rohirrim had some pretty awesome scenes.
Yeah, I mean it did intermingled, like mixed in with all the shit. It wasn't a good movie, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm bummed about that.
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna like this one. AJ Wizzle for $2. Everything Adam says is true. Huh.
That is true. It's accurate. Yeah.
Geraldski for $5.
It's pronounced Bob.
Huh?
It's pronounced Bob.
Oh, Bob.
Everything I say is true, so trust me.
Wish Strange Darling was on the list. That was my favorite this year. I am gonna check that out. It's just I came up with the list a little last minute, and I didn't want to put anything that you had to pay to rent if you didn't own the streaming service. So
it's a really good movie. I think you'll love the
looks
shit
good.
out of it.
I like the cast.
It's a roller coaster. I'll give you that.
Yeah. Tony, Brian Davis for $5. Tony, did you get credited in Nosferatu for contributing the breathing sound effect for Count Orlok?
You should have read it in Orlok's voice. It would have been here for another 20 minutes, but
oh yeah, it's so slow.
Tony.
Oh, so they do call him Count Orlok?
Yeah.
Because
they don't.
They did it in the original because they were plagiarizing Dracula and trying to get away with it. Spoiler, they did not get away with it. But in the 70s version, they waited for Dracula to go public domain, and then like a year later, they did the Nosferatu, and they just call him Dracula in it. It's like a fuck you. They're like, fuck you, he's Dracula now. Fuck you.
I mean, he's not in the movie very much, so they don't really talk about him that often.
Everyone
later.
watched the 70s version because the Count is like a crazy drug addict who's actually not very subtle, and it's actually really funny. I mean, it's not meant to be funny. It's meant to be horrifying, but his performance is really funny because the actor was miserable the whole time. Kiryu Pilot 379 for $4.99. Tony, are you going to live stream Indiana Jones and the Great Circle? Pretty fun game. I'm currently live streaming the remake of the Thing game from 2002, But I'm actually hearing the new Indiana Jones game is really, really good. Adam, have you checked that out? I know you're.
I'm a Sony pony, so I don't have access to the Xbox right now, but it does look pretty damn good. I was a little skeptical with it being a first person and not a third person game as Indiana Jones, but it sounds like it's fantastic.
Yeah, I've heard
Eventually.
nothing but good things about it. Adam,
Yeah.
have you checked it out?
Gil, you mean?
The Guild.
No, I haven't. I want to. My brother checked it out, and he said it was
Yeah.
pretty good.
Crystal, do you have a system?
I have a
Okay.
Switch and a PC.
I don't
Switch and
think it's
PC.
on- I don't think it's on those. Dude Abides, who's a member for 8 months, got karma for calling Tony Dr. Teeth on X, and now he has COVID. Yeah. So in 2011, my cousin Monica said I look like Dr. Teeth from the Muppets. And then I brought it up in the Muppets review, and I just keep getting Dr. Teeth pictures tweeted and sent to me. So thank you for that. AJ Wizzle for $5. Uncle No. I'm not No anymore. They can say my name. You're my best friend, godfather to my cat, but this wrap up has been a travesty. I'm sorry. Peter Garcia for $5. Hey Tony, big fan of yours after retro reviews. That is not the name of that show at all. It was retro reviews. Closed its doors. Just saw the Lord of the Rings and the Two Towers. Will you be reviewing that anime movie? P.S. No Adam and Eve ad. Oh, yeah, no. We only ever got one Adam and Eve ad on this show and then never again. I've said it many times during this. I will eventually do the animated and all the animated Lord of the Rings. So
That's great. But for now, you can check out my review on Adam Does Movies. Thank you, Tony, for that.
Or you can check out my review.
Crystal, you should just review that movie to beat me to the punch.
No, thank you.
Movie Buff 3000 for $2. Gil, you confuse the comebacks with Not Another.
I do this all the time.
Yeah.
Literally every day.
And then he realized he didn't finish writing it, and then he goes, teen movie for $2. Shadow Humor for $10. I guess you hate all women. Yikes and cringe. Pull out the victim card. That will get him. He gave me $10 for that. I think.
Wait,
he's
who
yelling
said
at
that?
I don't know what it's in reference for.
I think I
to.
said that to
Okay.
you guys because you didn't watch that beautiful
yeah.
movie with Rachel Sennett. AJ Whistle for $10. So congratulations. 65,000 subscribers. You have finally made it to the peak. And as a Hack the Movies enters its twilight years, the fans would like to thank you for your contribution. And
How's the top of the mountain look, Tony? How's the
It looks-
landscape from where you're standing, bud? The
Looks
top.
great.
Yeah.
AJ Wizzle posted a video. One of the many, some would say disturbing, I find them flattering, videos where he just has my show playing in the background while he's opening Christmas gifts. It was great. I loved it. Pico Jet Black. Tony wishes that Crystal's hashtag would come true. We need to get this set. Oh, what?
Oh, it did. Well, it did say no. When they put that, I saw it. When he put that, it said "fuck you, Tony."
Oh, fuck you. We need to get his sad big Italian boy his surgery.
No, I'll put it back.
ASAP. God damn it, Pico.
Does anybody like you, Tony, that watches your channel? It feels like they all shitpost and hate your
And the
life.
thing
I don't-
is, if you get to know him more, you hate him even more.
What the fuck is this? Yo, we've hung out in person a couple times. I'm pleasant, right?
Yeah, it was fun. I was watching you network because we were at an industry event,
Oh.
and
That
I saw
stuck you
Tony.
into.
Yeah, that's right. I literally walk in the door and they're like, "Who invited you, by the way?"
Who the fuck's this clown? Why
And
is
I'm
he
just
here?
like, yeah, I just forwarded the exclusive invite. I didn't realize how exclusive it
Tony
was.
shows up with like 45 people. We're here for the event. This is my plus 40.
But I got to watch
Christ.
Tony explain the show to somebody, and he described himself as the heel of the show. And I was like, after 2 years of Hack the Movies, I'm like, oh, I get it now.
You're like, oh, I thought you...
It's on purpose.
Gil, do you go to wrestling shows and you're like, I don't know, this guy's being really mean to the
Yeah,
crowd.
leave him alone.
Hey, my city doesn't stink. Why'd that guy say my city stinks? Lorenzo Areola for $2. Where's the wonderful mint salad at? She's the best. Lorenzo,
Agreed.
you can find her on your channel all the time for your show, Tits and Areola. That's the name of their show. His real last name.
That's phenomenal.
His last name literally is Areola, and he does a show with Mint, and they called it Tits and Areola. It's
That's
great.
brilliant.
Kiryu Pilot for $4.99. Oh, he said, did you guys forget Super Chat? But I think that was earlier. Pay attention to Super Chats like he pays attention to Blue Sky. That's right. I've only made one Blue Sky post, and it was me going, "Oh my god, this is worse than Threads. How can I just forward my tweets here?" People didn't like that.
I think I'm on Blue Sky, but I didn't make a post. I'm just there.
Yeah. Girk Pectus for $5. Godzilla -1 was a masterpiece, you damn piece of shit. Just joking. I honestly fell asleep in that movie. I'm with you. Hey!
We have one.
We have
Hold the
one.
line. We have one.
Same guy for $5. Sorry, off topic. Have you guys
topic.
Of topic. Have you ever
Yeah.
have you guys ever seen a ghost? I saw one months ago because of a gas leak. I know it wasn't real, but it scared the crap out of me.
Fuck, is this the same guy that agreed with me on Godzilla -1?
Yeah.
Actually, yes.
So much credibility.
Actually, on this show right here, Hometown Ghost Stories. Oh wait, on the side, Hometown Ghost Stories. I actually saw ghosts.
I actually have a ghost sitting with me right now, and he also hates Godzilla
I
-1.
like the idea that this guy put on Godzilla -1 during a gas leak, and then he saw a ghost and fell asleep and went, "That movie wasn't that good." Oh. Will Grathwall for $4.99 says nothing.
Thanks.
Let me refresh.
It's probably a middle finger for you or something.
Let me refresh and see if I can find out what it was.
He invited me over for homemade pizza tonight, and I turned him down for this. That's 2 people I rejected tonight to be here.
Wait,
Speaking
really?
of food, guys, I'm trying to figure out right now, do I want Denny's, IHOP, or a diner?
I thought you were on Taco Bell.
Taco
Where the
Bell
fuck-
chicken nuggets. You have to
No,
report back.
I switched. I'm really, really hungry. A Denny's, IHOP, or diner? What do you guys think?
I don't know. He sent me a #1 emoji. Oh,
I mean,
their first super on a live show.
I have to be GF, short for gluten free, and I know IHOP has options for gluten free pancakes, eggs, and sausage. It's a nice combo meal. So I'd go IHOP.
Okay.
Rubiach M, I'm in for $2. Tony, when is Girls Month happening? Get out of here. We're not doing Girls Month. Why would we ever? I gave you guys a girls episode on my birthday. That's like 10 Girls Month. We
I
don't
wasn't
need
in
more.
it, so it doesn't count.
But you
You're on
know
the
what
beach.
we will get, guys.
I was.
Sure, the last 2 didn't do super well. Might have hurt me financially, but I think third
Your
time's
girl
the charm.
episodes are getting you money for signatures with eBay and all this other
think
fun shit. What are you
Third
talking
time's
about?
The charm, guys. The thing I'm looking forward to the most in 2025 is Boys Month 3.
Let's
Boys
go.
Month 3. Boys Month
Boys Month 3. Boys
So
Month
why
3.
don't you try? Why don't you do a DVD was signed of all the boys months and sell that?
Boys Gone Wild?
Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. Gil, come back. We're
Yeah.
gonna take a picture with the John Wick box set, holding it inside it. It'll probably sell for $10,000.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Perm. Oh, this is one of your boys, I think. Adam. For $10, drinking, playing Marvel Rivals, and listening to you guys. A fun stream, y'all. Oh, thanks.
Thanks, Perm. I'm not gonna lie. I tried Marvel Rivals. I don't get the appeal. It's not my kind of game, but I'm glad you're enjoying it. Yeah.
Kirk Pectus for $2. Argyle, easily the worst movie I saw this year. I did not see Argyle. Is that true? Did anyone see Argyle?
I saw Argyle. It got worse as it went on. I didn't hate it. It's just a really dumb action movie by it's Matthew Vaughn, right? Or Matthew.
Yeah.
Is it Matthew Vaughn? Yeah,
I
the
think
guy
it's
that did the
Matthew Vaughn.
Kingsman movies. It's not near as good as Kingsman, and it gets progressively worse, but not the worst I saw. I saw a lot of shitty movies this year. So Argyle in comparison, Hot Frosty is going to take the cake on that.
Well, cleanse your palate with I Saw the TV Glow. It's going to change your life. Hold on, I want to get a list up here. And then Josh Cash for $1.99. Merry Christmas, Crystal. Suck it, Tony from Hack the Movies.
Thank
There
you,
it is.
Josh.
There it is.
All right, guys. Before we leave, do you guys have any movies that you're excited for in the coming year?
In the coming year, Jesus, I don't even know what's coming out
I know, I
tomorrow,
was
let
just
alone
thinking
next
that.
year.
You're not excited for Karate Kid 5?
Oh God, was there a 4? Was
Oh,
that the
that's
Hillary
Karate
Swank?
Kid 6, because it's counting the remake as continuity.
Oh, it is the
Yeah.
Kung Fu Kid, which was what he learned in that movie, I believe, not
Yeah.
karate. Karate.
Yes.
28 years later. I'm looking forward to that one.
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
That was
yeah.
good. That was good.
What movies are coming out?
I'm not gonna read the whole
Is
list.
Matrix 5 coming out in 2025?
No, but the
Oh.
Minecraft movie is. I bet you're
Yay.
excited for that.
That's right.
Wow,
They
they're
are
making
making another Matrix, though. Isn't that sad?
They're making a sequel to The Accountant. I didn't know that.
Avatar 3.
Yeah.
Another
Not-
Jurassic World.
Hate the
Oh.
Avatar
Yeah.
sequel
Oh,
so bad.
I do
Mission
want to see
Impossible, I'm looking
the
forward to.
Conjuring, The Last Rites. That I
Oh,
actually
yeah.
do want to see.
Hopefully that'll be good. The last one sucked. Final Destination Bloodlines. I'm excited to see that.
Tony, you have to have me back for From the World of John Wick, Ballerina.
That's true. We got to do that one.
Snow White, obviously. I'm super pumped for
Gil,
Snow White.
Gil, based on the views we got on that John Wick episode, that's going to be a live episode. Let's not make the trip out for that.
They also have the monkey.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
interested in that one.
I'm interested in that.
Oh, Superman! I'm excited for Superman. The I Know What You Did Last Summer Legacy sequel.
Yeah,
which-
I'm pumped for that too. I want to see what James Gunn can do.
Fantastic Four: First Steps. I want to be excited, but
No.
what's his face has kind of ruined it for me.
Oh my god, I forgot they're making a Black Phone 2
I was
in the
ju-
world
I-
of unnecessary sequels.
That and Megan too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not do either one of those.
Tron
Predator
is coming out. They're
Badlands.
coming out with the new Tron.
And a secret other Predator sequel.
Yeah,
apparently.
I mean, I
Yeah.
love
I'm
Predator, so that could be good. And Wicked 2, I'm excited for more Wicked.
Freaky or
Oh.
Friday? Really?
Guys, Mortal
No, yeah,
Kombat
no.
2. Mortal
Yeah,
Kombat
that first
2.
movie sucked.
That movie
know.
made no
No.
sense.
It
I'm
didn't.
now, I'm
The
now
thumbnail?
going to stand. Here's my new thing. If a movie releases the first 7 to 8 minutes early, that's the only good part of the movie, and just assume it's gonna
Yeah.
be shit. Because Mortal Kombat did that, and Craven did that, and that Craven scene was like, oh, this could be okay. No, awful.
Did we mention?
well-
I never forgot what you did last summer.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Let's go.
What you got? Mortal Kombat 2021 is my 6th most watched video of all time. So yeah, I'll be talking about that one.
Sure. Yeah.
The Running Man remake with Edgar Wright directing
Oh,
and my boy
that
Glenn
sounds
Powell.
cool. Yeah.
Normally I would be against it, but apparently the Running Man movie is nothing like the book. So if they're doing it to be closer to the book, I'll allow it. If they're just gonna try and remake Arnold's movie,
He's not going to try to. It's Edgar Wright, the guy who makes
yeah, I have.
super original
I
films.
hope that he does that. Like he's just
Yeah.
like, hey, let's use the source material a little bit more.
Ooh.
Oh, and of
Hard
course,
Eyes.
guys, on Christmas we're getting Anaconda remake, but it's a comedy with Jack Black and Paul Rudd this time. Are you excited for that?
I mean, I enjoy the original Schlocky Anaconda
Yeah.
with J-Lo, but no, I'm not excited for it. We'll see. I mean, it has the premise that could potentially work. It's going to be R-rated, I'm sure. So yeah, it could be okay.
All right. Well, I'm glad no one said Captain America 4.
Yeah, that just seems like it has too much going against it. It
Yeah.
might be all right.
It feels like Marvel is terrified of making a misstep at this point. Like
Yeah.
2024, we're only going to release the movie that we know everyone's going to love, Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah.
And they've reshot Captain America so many times at this point. But I will say on the Marvel front, I am looking forward to the Daredevil that coming back. I enjoyed it on Netflix all those years ago. And this is another one that they reshot like half of it.
Yeah.
And it sounds like they're trying to recapture the magic from the Netflix series. I hope they do.
I have
but
no
we'll
hope.
see.
It's a Disney Plus show,
series-
right?
Yeah, you're probably smart. Yeah.
They're
The
they're
series
never
is
good.
phenomenal.
Yeah,
The
series
original
is great.
Dare, it was amazing.
Is
Um,
it? Because so here's the deal. I've talked to a bunch of people, and they're all in the same boat as me, where you watch the first 2 seasons, and it seemed like no one watched the third. So was the
Yeah,
Oh, I
third
that
did
was a
actually
watch
shame.
the
good?
third. The third was a
don't know if
little
I
bit of a
watched the third.
letdown, but I thought it was okay. You know what?
Exactly. Nobody.
I
watched
thought the third
season.
was far superior to the second. I thought this.
Really?
I thought I didn't think any of them were perfect,
Yeah.
but I thought 2 got very muddled and convoluted with all
It
the
did.
ninja stuff.
Yeah.
Though I loved the Punisher storyline, and then I thought 3 got a lot more focused. I thought it was better.
I think the Defenders crossover kind of hurt them a little bit because
Yeah.
that was real weak.
Is anybody watching Squid Game 2, which I guess came out? Nobody cares.
I'm 2 episodes in.
Is it any good?
I'm enjoying it so far.
Okay.
I-
I love season 1, so I want to check.
I-
it
Yeah,
out.
I think
didn't
it doesn't
watch
have the
Squid Game
same
1.
novelty as season 1. I mean, I don't see how it possibly could, but I
Yeah.
don't think there's a drop in quality other than we've already been in this world. There's not as much novelty as there was the first time around.
I was.
What-
Yeah. on.
it about? I keep seeing ads and stuff like that for the Squid Games, the Netflix reality show. So I didn't even realize Squid Games 2 was the actual show.
Yeah, it probably wasn't good for them to dilute the IP so much
Right.
with
Yeah.
the reality show. There's all these mobile games. And now they have the guy who made the show in interviews going, I'm sick of the show. I don't want to talk about it anymore because Netflix calls him for every side project they do. They're trying to milk it. And they announced, I think, an American version of it. I don't know if it's going to be a remake or if they're going to try and say it's in the same world. But what's it about? I mean, without spoiling anything, they do set it up at the end of season 1. And it follows right from there, you know?
What was the setup? I can't remember.
I guess spoiling a little bit how season 1 wrapped up, but the guy won, and he's intent on going back to try and take down the games. So it goes from there. So you're watching that process.
Oh.
Kind of reminds me of Battle Royale. That's what they try to
Do
do.
you see any of the game again?
Yeah,
Or is it just taking a totally different
in the
path?
trailers and in the commercials, they show you that you will see the games.
I mean, that's the only reason I want to watch it.
Yeah.
I will
It sounds
say-
like the first 2 are slow roll episodes, and the third one picks up.
Okay, cool. All right.
I will say on the Marvel side of things, I actually am excited for Thunderbolts because it just seems like a bunch of wacky. There's no multiverse shit in it. I'm excited to see what they do with that.
Would you say the Thunderbolts?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that looked fun too. Another one that had a bunch of reshoots. We'll see.
It's
Yeah, I
not
mean,
called
we'll see how-
Thunderbolts. It's called Thunderbolts Asterisk.
Yes. No, I'm excited to see that. The trailer looked good. I like those characters, even though some of them are from like the weaker MCU stuff, but they're like good additions to modern MCU stuff. I don't know. Captain America 4, I saw that he's flying around the big hand from Eternals, and I went, no, I'm out. I'm out already.
Am I seeing a Lilo and Stitch? Like, is this a live
Yeah,
action?
they're doing
Lilo
a
and
live
Stitch?
action Lilo and Stitch. Yep.
No, it's
And
so
Moana
good.
live action.
Oh,
is
and Moana.
coming.
They're shooting live action Moana right now.
I saw pictures of that. I didn't know they were doing that for Stitch. That kind
They're
of
gonna do it for everything because Disney's creatively bankrupt. So.
Ugh. Anyway, that seems to be. Oh God. I put a free one up there. That seems to be it. All right. Thank you guys for joining me on the year-end wrap-up. That's 3 in a row, Adam. You were on the first ever wrap-up.
Amazing.
It's amazing. We're gonna do this until we're dead. Yes. Thanks everyone for watching. You're all great. You're all my best friend, and I love you. Goodbye, everyone. We'll see you next year. Well, actually, you'll see me Monday, but after that, you'll see me next year. Goodbye. I'm gonna end the stream now. Like.